Welcome back to The Experience, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Falgu. Today, my co-host is my buddy, Rayshawn Adams. And my guest today, I met him about a year ago at one of my good friends, Cole's, what was it, college?
We call it a college experience.
College experience, and they were nice enough to invite me and my wife, and we met over there, and his whole group of friends was cool. And we just vibed, and we were talking about life and his struggling with weight loss and his weight loss journey. So I'm gonna just let him give it to you straight and tell you what happened. And this is my buddy, Mikey Ricks.
Thank you, Eric, for having me on.
I said that
right? Yeah, yes,
right, Mikey Ricks.
Yes,
I've been calling you Mickey, dude.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Does. You know, I had a preschool teacher did that for 3 years.
Stop calling him Mickey.
I never had the balls to say that. Thank you, listener. I appreciate that.
Oh, she sticks up for you, bro.
Thank you.
And I was like, I know I call him his right name, but for some reason,
it just rolls off the tongue a little bit, Mickey.
So thanks for coming, bro. I know you drove a little bit over here, so thank you for doing that.
How's it spelled?
Huh?
How's it spelled?
Mikey.
Uh-oh.
But most people still get it confused.
I guess because on Instagram, I always, for some reason, I thought I kept seeing a C.
Most people do.
Okay, yeah. So that's why
it ain't a big deal. But when teachers do it for like 3-4 years, you know, like you keep telling.
Well, that's weird because like when I first met you at the party, whatever it's called, what was that, soiree?
Soiree.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
And
soiree.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you were like, I'm Mikey. I was like, oh, cool. But
there you go.
But you call him man Mickey.
I'm getting old, bro.
Exactly. Got Alzheimer's.
So it's
already.
All right. Well, I think the biggest thing that Eric,
you could talk a little bit away. I got it fixed.
Yeah.
Got the microphone.
I think
fixed.
one of the biggest things I wanted to talk about is probably my journey, essentially just to losing all the weight that I did and more or less the change of life quality that I had. Realistically, it was a crazy experience. It was a lot of derails, a lot of trial and error, a lot of fuck ups. And now I'm at the point where I finally feel confident after, a very long time of portraying yourself as, you being happy, but you're going out with all these kids who are drinking and, this skinny, they don't really have to worry about it, but you're in the back trying to watch every single decision that you make. And
right.
It's a difficult thing at first. And like, I want to say that I'll probably give the backstory on the moment that I changed everything. And it was a split second decision. I know most people, like they constantly think and they think like, hey, I need to change. I want to change. I want to lose weight. I want to gain weight. I don't feel happy with myself, but it's just about doing. And like, I feel like that's one of the main things I kind of want to get across is just doing it and fucking up repeatedly. And it sounds so cliche, but I am a true testament of it because I remember I went to college. I was a 2-sport athlete in high school. You got athletes all around you. Everybody's ripped up and you're athletic, but you're kind of fat.
You was on the cheer too?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, like it was football, baseball, and then like year round, and then you get to college and you think that all that athleticism and all that working out you did is going to hold up.
Right.
And it's just going to stay, but it does not. And so like the biggest thing I learned was I went to college, and the summer after high school, I had a really good like summer and like I was feeling good. And then I got to college and you get all caught up in classes and trying to figure out college and, like figure out kind of what you want to do, who you are and all this type of shit. So I'll never forget it. I go through my first semester of college. I go in at like 2:30 and you get caught up in this goddamn cafeteria with this unlimited food.
Damn.
It's so ridiculous. Like you can walk in and have a bowl of catfish, spaghetti and meatballs, a taco, cereal, ice cream, and walk out. And because like you're a broke college kid, so like any chance you get to eat on like the school's penny, like it's there. And it's like, especially me having the big ass appetite that I did.
Right.
I was in there, just scarfing shit down, just hoping I wasn't hungry like the next morning.
How big were you like when you started the journey?
So that's when right after that first semester, I'll never forget. I went to an academy in Harahan. And it was right after Christmas break, New Year's, all that type of stuff. And I went to Academy and I tried on a pair of XL joggers and I was like, why is this shit so tight? Damn. Like I'm in the Academy dressing room, like looking at myself. I'm like, there ain't no way. So I go get the double XL. My grandma was waiting outside. She's like, what you doing? I'm like, I'm changing. Like I'm freaking out in my head. I'm like, dude, there's no way. Right. It's like my dad, he's always been kind of bigger and he's like double XL in pants and shirts. And I was like, bro, I'm like 18. Like there ain't no way.
Right.
So I go put the double X on, and that fit me. And I'll never forget, I was in the Academy Sports and Outdoors on Jefferson Highway in the second dressing room. For 5 minutes, I pulled my shirt up and stared at myself. That's where we saw that first picture I sent you.
Yeah, that photo.
I'll never forget. I remember it so vividly. I stared at myself for about 5 minutes, like analyzing up and down every single inch. And I'll never forget that moment, because in that moment, I was like, bro, you're going to die. Like, that was the first time I read that thought. I was like, bro, you're going to die.
And how old were you?
I was 18.
18.
And so, like, you know, after 4 years of being told, you know, like, eat as much as you can, football and sports and all that type of shit, you know, you just get in the habit of it. Like, it becomes second nature. Like, you want to eat everything in front of you. So in that moment, the picture I showed you, I'm standing there for 5 minutes, and finally, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take this picture today. It's the last time I'm ever going to look like this my whole life. And I promised myself, I said, dude, if you don't do this, you're going to die at like 30.
Right.
Because it's going to keep getting worse. You're going to be 350, unhealthy, unhappy. Like, and realistically, like, that was one of the things I wanted to bring up, was the conversation for anyone who's watching or listening. Like, you got to have this shitty conversation with yourself at some point. I looked at myself and I told myself, you know, like, realistically, like, you look like a little bitch right now. You know, you're unhappy, you're depressed, you're overweight. All your friends are out there living, and, like, every time you're out, like, you're having fun, but you're not really confident. So, like, how much fun can that fun really be?
Right.
And so after that, I told myself about that military diet we talked earlier about. In a college dorm, you got access to that cafeteria. I told myself I was never going to the cafeteria again.
There was like no healthy food in there.
Oh, hell no. Like, whatever they cook, it's got grease and oil to make it last, and it's trying to feed, you know, 10,000 kids in a day. So, like, it's just all types of crazy stuff. You can't track it, like I know that we do. Right. And so I told myself, I was like, all right, look, you're going to take whatever money you need to. I'm going to go get myself some meal prep company, and then I'm going to just kind of stick with this diet and see where it goes. So the first 6 weeks, I bought myself a workout plan. Like, I knew how to lift. I didn't really necessarily know how to bodybuild.
Right.
So I was just like athletic training for years.
Right.
And I didn't.
Big difference.
I definitely did not know how to diet. I had never dieted before. It was always, hey, eat whatever you can, get as many calories as your body, build as much muscle as you can. For me, it was fat, because I was eating a bunch of bullshit in high school, like chicken cheese nachos and shit.
It's 80%. It's a 80% diet, 20% training.
Oh, always. And so, like, one of the first things I noticed was I went back to school, and I remember, I'll never forget, it was January 16th. I bought the plan, and I went to the grocery. I dropped like $109 at the grocery, bought every piece of imaginary healthy food. I actually looked up, like I told you, that Walmart healthy food list.
I just learned something new today. I was like, what the hell is that?
I looked up Walmart healthy food list, and I bought every single goddamn thing on there. And I went back home, and I was like, all right, I'm in a dorm. How the do I cook this shit?
Right.
You know, like, I'm sitting there like, what?
Yeah, like, how is it in the dorm? Y'all got like a microwave?
Dude, it's horrible, bro. Like, you get a microwave in your room, and then they got this like community kitchen with like nothing. It's just a stove. So, like, you got to bring the pans and shit to the.
So that's like designed to get you fat.
No,
like
it's literally, it's built for it. So, like, and plus the more you eat, obviously the more you want to go back to eat, because like they have good tasting food, but like it's food for a kid who's 120 pounds, and, you know, like don't matter what he eats.
Right.
And so, like, I went from 230 to like 264 in the first semester. And I'll never forget that feeling. And, like, when I got back to the second semester, we were actually going to EDC that May. And I told myself, you will drop at least 30 pounds by May. That was just a goal. Like, I knew I wasn't going to look like how I wanted to.
Just to get back to how you looked.
Just to get back to how it was originally. So I was like, bro, like, at least get back to like your equilibrium. So I get back to school.
At least comfortable at. Like,
Your fighting weight.
And so, like, I get back to school. And as I'm sitting there, I remember I was telling myself, you know, I'm researching left and right, you know, like, quickest ways to lose fat. Because you're in college, you know, you want to go out and have fun. You want to.
How many months you had till EDC?
Shit, 4.
Ooh, yeah, that's hard.
4 months.
That's a hard prep, bro.
So, you know, you're looking at like a bodybuilder pro type prep for a festival.
You'd have to go on like a hardcore cut, and you'd have to really, you'd be doing cardio 7 days a week, possibly twice a day.
This is what it got into.
That's just the cardio.
I told myself, I found this magical thing called fasted cardio. And, you know, to a fat kid who's trying to lose weight as quick as you can, and you read.
Especially when we wake up in the morning, we're not even hungry.
Exactly. Like, so, like, I wake up, and for the next 6 weeks, I remember I bought this bodybuilding plan, and I followed the diet to the T. I was making fucking egg whites in a microwave in a measuring cup for 6 weeks in the morning just to stay out of the fucking cafeteria. So, like, I was so strict on myself and so disciplined. And like, don't get me wrong, like I fuck up all the time.
I mean, that's dedication, though, dude. Most people won't even do that.
But dude, I knew for those first 6 weeks, I knew if I didn't do that, my life was gonna be going down the drain.
Right.
So like those 6 weeks was all or nothing pretty much for me. So I got up every morning. I would go run on the treadmill, and like I was so ass at endurance. It was so bad, bro. Because like I used to sprint a lot, especially in like sports. So like I get on the treadmill the first day, and it's kind of like the David Goggins story, you know, when he gets up and runs quarter mile.
Oh yeah.
I got up and I ran like 0.65. My heart rate's at like 290. It was bad. So like I had a treadmill right down my hallway. So I would get up and go to the treadmill, and like the first day was horrible. Second day was horrible. And you know, you just kind of tell yourself like, all right, you where you're at now. You know where you need to be. You got to figure all the shit out in between.
Right.
And that's what everybody tries to run from. And like the biggest thing that I realized over those first 6 weeks was, you know, I'm getting up, I'm running, and every single time I would finish a run, I would tell myself, dude, you probably knocked out more shit than most people would do in a day.
Right.
For themselves.
100%.
And so obviously that's a confidence builder. You know, that's a demeanor builder. So, you know,
what time you was waking up to do that?
Shit, like probably like 7:30.
Oh yeah, dude.
And so, you know, like I finished running by 8:30, and I'm like, you know, people are waking up from getting fucking trash last night. You out here running.
Yeah, you out there. People having dreams while you out there living.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And so like one thing I realized over those 6 weeks was like, dude, you keep this shit up. All that Instagram motivation shit you see, like if you really put your foot into it and you realize that people aren't selling a fucking pipe dream to you, and it really is just baby step by step, consistency. That's when I started to really get confident. Was those I looked by no means skinny. I had not lost a lot of fat, but my brain was on a whole nother level. Whole nother level of confidence, dude. Mm-hmm. And so like those 6 weeks went through, I dropped 18 pounds. I went down to like 242, 243. And I said, okay, I got like 8 more weeks till EDC.
Right.
And so for those of you who don't know EDC, it's Electric Daisy Carnival. It's the greatest festival on the planet.
Coming soon.
And it's incredible, and it's in Vegas, and there's like 400,000 people, and you want to look the best possible. Always. It's a festival.
Basically, everybody's walking around half
It's
naked.
like a spring break. It's
know.
insane.
So let me ask you though, were you doing all this by yourself?
Oh, completely by myself. And that was another hardest part. So I went to UL my first year because my brother had gone to LSU, and, you know, like I had been up to LSU so many times when I was younger, like 15, 16, and I kind of saw what it was at the time, going out to the playgrounds. It just seemed like so crazy. And like I felt like I knew everyone who was going. And like I was always kind of ventured out on the idea of like meeting new people and kind of, you know, venturing out on another way. Because like everyone that's still there is always going to be there. So I went to UL. None of my real, like Cole, Peter, a bunch of my stepbrothers and my best friends, they all went to LSU. And like when I was there, I told them, I said, dude, honestly, if I would have been at LSU, I don't think I would have did what I did. Because you would have been so comfortable. You got all these group of friends who don't really have to do what you do.
Right.
So, like, doing it by myself was probably the fucking hardest part, no doubt.
So you did it at a totally different school.
Oh, completely different.
Oh, nice.
I mean, dude, like, I was going up to LSU all the time in the fall for all those football games and all that stuff.
Right.
And then the spring came around, I went one time because I was so, I knew if I went diet, drinking, all that shit was gonna go bad. Mm-hmm. And so like it was just.
So you were like bailing on everybody.
I was kind of betting on myself.
Right, but you were like bailing on people too. They probably be like, "Oh, come on, Mikey, come on."
He had to though.
Yeah,
like
had
you
to,
had
dude.
to.
Like it's a sacrifice.
It was a huge, and that was the first time I ever really got around to telling people like no for myself, rather than just like saying no in general. It was more like, no, bro, like I really have to do what I need to do right now.
Like I want to really bad, but I have to do it this route because not everybody's got the same, you know, genetics.
Right. Because the one thing that I realized was, if I keep going out there and keep doing what I'm doing, like, you know, like at LSU, you go out and you drink at Tigerland, and you go get some 3 a.m. food, and everyone who doesn't have to worry about what I'm worrying about doesn't care. They wake up, do the same thing.
Right. They wake up shredded.
Exactly. It don't matter. But for me, that sets me back 2 weeks of progress doing that for 2-3 days. Right. So those next 8 weeks come by, and I'm feeling myself losing weight. And I only weighed myself once a week because I knew if I got on a scale every day, demoralized me completely. And like just for me personally, because my weight would fluctuate 7 to 8 pounds on a scale a day.
Yeah, same.
So like if I ate a late meal, I'd wake up in the morning 4 pounds heavier than like what I was yesterday morning. It was just like kind of fucking with my head a little bit.
Psychological.
So I was like, you know what, dude?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Doing all this fucking work for
Exactly,
nothing?
bro. I'm like, dude, you telling me a fucking 3 slices of pizza put me up 8 pounds?
Yep.
And like
Yep,
when you're young,
100%.
you know, I'm 18. I don't really know anything about it. Don't have a coach or anything. Like it all just kind of goes mental.
Right.
And like that's probably the biggest change I had was realizing that every little choice I was making was either putting, and this was like a whole philosophical realization of mine, was one day a bunch of my friends were going to this restaurant, went to the restaurant, and they were all ordering, you know, like all this crazy shit like nachos and beer and chicken fingers and all this stuff. And I told them like, I really don't want to eat. I know I got a meal back home, like I'm away, and then, you know, they're all like fucking with me. They're like, dude, come on, bro, like we're celebrating this
That's
kid's
that peer
birthday.
pressure shit, man.
And I told myself, I was like, so this is what it feels like. Taking either one step forward or like 4 steps back. And after that day, that was in like mid-April of 2019. That was when I told myself, you got to level it up a little bit. Because now you're really getting to the point where you're making every single correct, or at least the most correct decisions a lot.
Right.
So I get to EDC, we go, I'm like 220. And I think when I got back from EDC, another thing that I was telling myself was, okay, you got this far. You're 42 pounds down. I went from 262 to 220.
How'd you feel?
Oh, incredible. Absolutely incredible. Like, I think one of the...
You look good and shit?
You walk around.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, bro. That was the first time in probably about 2-3 years where I really felt like cool with my shirt off. Like, I felt fine.
Yes.
And like, obviously, I ain't no goddamn shredded king, but like,
Right.
when I felt confident enough in myself, I could really give a shit what anyone else was thinking, because like the people who were around me and I cared about, they knew what I used to look like.
Right.
And when you got your
And
close,
you knew too. Like,
Yeah, like,
I knew what the fuck I used to look like.
And like my close friends, like my homies and that's when it really hits
You're like,
you.
what?
You're like,
I'm about
man,
to turn this
what?
bitch all the way up.
Yeah, bro. So like, I got my friend. Like, you know how hard it is to get a compliment sometimes from your close friends. Like, they always fuck with you, and they give you the shitty part of it. When they started telling me like, dude, like you look good, you know, keep doing what you're doing. That was when I was like, bro, this is like life changing, because I had never experienced something like this before.
Right,
I always felt like I was a fat kid. I always felt like I was a kid eating off other people's plate when they finished. And like now that I'm at where I'm at and I've had the journey that I've had, now I can be completely open of it. Like 3 years ago, I would never tell people that, you know, I felt the way I felt.
Right.
And that's one of the biggest things I wanted to talk about is like, if you're looking to lose weight simply for the idea of looking better, you got no idea what else comes with it. I mean, dude, it goes from mental improvements, clarity. You feel happier. You feel like you can talk without like hiding yourself. Like, I don't know did you used to be bigger?
Yeah, bro. My whole life.
That's what I
had titties. I had gynecomastia.
Yeah. So, dude, like, I used to sit at the fucking
bitch tits.
I used to sit at the fucking pool, and you know when all these skinny motherfuckers get out the pool, they're all sitting there, you know, like bent back, their stomachs are showing. I'm sitting there like with my arms crossed, sitting like this.
Yeah.
And I used to tell my son who was like looking at me the way I am. And then when I really started getting down into like the lower 215s, I realized that everybody's just focused on himself. You think that every single fucking person is looking at you like, oh my God, he's so big or she's so big. Like, bro, everyone's got their own fucking
problems.
problems.
They're not even worried about you. They ain't even look at
their own
you.
fucking problems. I asked one of my friends, I said, dude, did you ever think I was like super fat? He was like, I mean, dude, like, I knew you were bigger, but like, I never gave a fuck. Like, I'm trying to lose weight myself. And I'm like, damn. So like,
but that's how you were judging yourself.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? You look in the mirror and said, "This is not how I want to."
Yeah,
fucking
that's how you perceive yourself.
Judging yourself it can be fucking gold.
You thought everybody thought you looked fat.
It can be absolute gold for yourself, or it can
and
absolutely
that's what it was for you.
Yeah,
it was
big
gold.
time. Because like you can either think that all right, everybody's judging me, and you know they're kind of thinking that I'm look this way. So I feel like a lot of people want to lose fat for the perception of other people. And when you get like, I know I did at first, you know, like I wanted to look better, but I wanted to feel better around other people.
Right. As
you get lower and deeper and you know, healthier and more confident and happy, you start to give a single fuck about what everyone else is thinking.
Yes.
Cause then I'm walking around like, look, I've probably done harder shit than y'all have or ever will in your whole life.
Right.
Cause like I know kids who will never have to deal with it. And like, if you're watching or listening and you have, you know, a journey to go, the first thing you're gonna do is probably tell yourself, all right, say you're 220 and I want to be 180. You're looking at 180 like it's fucking 6 years away and it's 100,000 miles on broken glass because it looks fucking forever.
Right.
The minute you put your head down and really just
do it
and just fucking do it. I mean, dude, the trial and error of it is what makes you look back at it and kind of think, bro, like, I'm hard as a motherfucker. Like, you know, like, dude, when
I'm my own David Goggins.
No, dude, like, dude,
You be looking in the mirror like, I'm that nigga.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro. Like, so when I watched David Goggins fuck ton.
Yeah, of course.
All the time. I used to, dude, when I was running.
He made me want to get my ass out of bed.
Let me tell you, when I was running, I used to look up David Goggins motivation mix on SoundCloud. It's 32 minutes long. I used to put that bitch on, and this dude just in my ear, don't be a fucking pussy today, you little fucking bitch. I'm sitting there like,
that nigga talking to me.
Damn.
He talking to me.
Damn. Okay.
I was telling myself that. I was telling myself that.
Yeah, bro. So like, I figured that when I got down to that point, you know, I would feel better and I'd feel more comfortable about the people around me. And then when I remember when I first hit 195 this past August, because that was a goal in my mind for so long. I mean, 65 pounds. You see people losing 65 pounds over like 5 years.
Right.
And I'm sitting over here like, dude, this is going to take me forever. It just...
What was the time scale on that? Like you said, you lost the first 40. It took you like...
I lost the first 40 in 4 months, the next 25 over 2 years.
Right. Whoa. See,
it's
a journey.
rough.
It's a journey, bro.
Yeah, and so like one thing I don't think that people necessarily understand is that first, you know, whether it be 10, 20, 30, and 40 in my extreme case, I guess you could say, that'll melt off of you. That's all shit that you ate in excess and it's grease and fat. The last bit where you really want to get to.
I call it the nitty gritty.
The nitty gritty. Because like that's the stuff that your body kind of wants to hold on to.
Yeah.
All the other shit, your body's like, yeah, get that fucking nasty ass shit out of here. But you
your body wants to go back to homeostasis.
Exactly.
Like there's a certain, you know, every body type has a different, like it wants to stay a certain way.
Exactly. You know? So like if I'm calorie deficit for 90% of 4 or 5 months, at some point my body is gonna tell me, bruh,
chill the fuck out.
Like chill the fuck out, man.
Right.
Like we're not getting shit. And like that's when your body will hold on to everything that you don't really want it to hold on.
Mm-hmm.
But like with your diet, were you eating like high calories, still losing weight, or were you like cutting it like to the extreme?
Eric, I'm gonna lie to you, I was cutting like a motherfucker. I was eating like 12 to 1,400 calories a day, which PSA is horrible for you.
Right.
I just knew that if I didn't do this now, my undisciplined ass at the time was never going to do it. So I told myself, and you know, I was listening to David Goggins, I was just thinking, bro, struggle as much as you possibly, like I was throwing myself in the struggle. Who the fuck wants to wake up at 7 a.m. and run 3 miles? Nobody. Who the fuck wants to go like work out for 2.5 hours and then go run for 25 minutes? And you know, like
I used to wake up at 3 a.m. because I was following this guy, Corey Gregory, that owns Muscle Farm.
Yeah.
And he called it the 4 a.m. crew.
Yeah, dude.
I used to wake up at like 3:15 and drive all the way to the gym at 4 a.m. And you could ask Tyler. I brought his ass too. And basically, like you said earlier, most people are fucking dreaming, and like you're sitting there trying to live yours. Like, you know, so when the sun comes up, you already done.
Yep.
And you done tackled, like, that was the hardest part of your day.
Hardest part.
But that's why I asked you, like, did you do it by yourself? Because I always find it better, like, if you can find somebody who has that same mentality.
1,000%.
It's you know, like, I got to lean on you and you lean on me. Like, fuck, I don't want to do it, but I'm not letting him down.
There's a lot of us out there, but it's hard to find us at that right time. Like,
dude,
like I didn't have a Mikey.
Right.
See, y'all call him fucking Mickey.
That's what Goggin was calling him in the headphones too. Come on, Mickey.
No, but
you
I didn't
pussy, Mickey.
I didn't
like Mickey.
Dude, yeah, there were no Mikeys. It was like I was solo dolo the whole time, dude.
Nah,
and
dude,
that was like before working out was cool or fucking. Like,
but I think it's better that way. Like when you finally get to work out by yourself.
Yeah, you feel like Rocky, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just felt like I was in there every day preparing for battle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Especially if you got a mirror.
Yeah, I had a bunch of them.
All day. Like one thing that I realized when I was doing it solo was that no one around me, like no one.
Well, you realize how dedicated you are and how people aren't.
That's one
like,
thing that I started to feel because, you know, like I see all the kids in the gym, they got these gym partners and, you know, you kind of, I won't say jealousy, but you kind of like, damn, bro, like I wish I had someone in here fucking like pushing me for 1 or 2 extra reps and telling me like, hey, get the fuck up there. But it's just you versus yourself every single time. And like,
and you got to be that.
But you end up looking better than him.
You got to be that.
But that's the thing. That's why I felt like I was going like crazy because I was having conversations with my head in my own head, like sitting on a bench in the middle of all these people, you know, and they get endorphins. You got people like laughing and joking in the gym. I'm fucking zeroed in on like somebody's left shoelace, like just staring like, dude, you either do this or you a little bitch. And like when I got to that point,
You need to tie that shoe too.
yeah, but
I had to stop going with people because I would be sitting there and they'd be talking and don't go through their reps.
That's
It's like,
what I'm
no,
saying.
I can't do that.
I don't wanna do
I'm on
that.
a time schedule.
Yeah,
You gotta move the fuck out the way.
It's hard training with multiple partners.
Yes.
One partner, yeah. Two
Especially
partners.
somebody who's just there to be there. Like, no, you gotta get the fuck.
I think that when I realized I wasn't going to have anyone else who was trying to do what I was trying to do, I think that was what I really realized. That was a huge pill to swallow. Because I always thought, like, you know, it's got to be someone who's somewhat as dedicated or someone at least wants it as bad. And I would reach out to my friends and they'd be like, yeah, bro, I'm trying to get back in the gym. And then they'd go out 4 or 5 nights in a row and, you know, they never make it. And, like, don't get me wrong, I've done all that shit.
Yeah.
But I know how to get myself back on track.
Well, there's talkers and doers. You're a doer.
Exactly. Like no matter who I called or who I asked to kind of hop on this journey with me, because I was like huge PSA, you're gonna feel like shit a lot when you try and lose weight. You're not gonna want to go to the gym. You're not gonna want to eat fucking chicken and green beans for dinner when someone's got a goddamn pizza next to you. You're not gonna want to, you know, order a water at a bar when everyone else is drinking tequila sours and drinking 5,000 calories a night and all this shit. Like, and that's another point, is the hard pills to swallow is one of the things that I've always wanted to talk about. But none of my friends have had the journey that I've had. They've all been skinny or ripped up or shredded their whole life. They never had to worry about it.
Just real good genetics.
Exactly. And so like the hardest pill to swallow about fat loss is just the first conversation. No one wants to have the conversation. Everyone wants to tell themselves, oh, like, you know, you got the people who always talk about, you know, feeling comfortable in your skin and like loving yourself. Well, that works for some and it works for not everybody. Like I know myself, I hated the way I looked and I hated the way I felt. I was like, bro, I'm fucking changing this. Like you got people who, you know, feel comfortable and like, that's incredible. I wish I did, but I did not. And that,
I applaud that shit.
Dude,
like when
that
you confident in that,
bro.
I just be like,
it drove the absolute fuck
It's like
out
less
of
worry.
myself.
It's like you don't stress.
Right.
Exactly. And that took me 3 years now to get to where now like dude, I remember there was times where I used to take off my shirt around a group of people and just felt like everyone was like, you know, just staring. And like that's another hard pill to swallow, is realizing that you're really the only person who's fucking yourself up. You are the only person who's telling yourself, oh, you look like shit. Oh, you're doing this wrong. You're doing that wrong. Like you're not getting all of it done.
I'm gonna tell you what the fuck I used to do. I used to fucking suck in a lot. I used to
bro.
be sucking in, bro, all
Every
fucking day.
Every day.
All day.
I go out to the pool.
Like,
I'm in there like,
you
You be pulling your shirt like this, like
yeah.
15
like,
pounds.
bro, you gotta
dude.
take a shit, son.
Look, let me tell you. Hey, Eric, you already know. You sit down.
Oh, that was the
you
worst though. When they
they
told me I had titties, I was like, oh, you got titties. Yeah, bro. I hate getting pinched on the titty.
Oh yeah,
like,
bro. Don't touch. Like my wife touched my nipple. I'm like, don't touch them.
Look, this shit got sensitive background to it.
Yeah, man. Fuck that.
Yeah, bro.
You can't even lick my titty.
Yeah.
Fuck no.
I'm that greedy
My
too.
girl be doing it. Like, what the fuck you
My
doing?
wife's like, what's wrong? I'm like, don't touch it.
Don't do
I
that.
don't even like
Don't
that.
do that.
She's like, really? Everybody likes that. I said, nah, man.
not me.
That
Not
shit
when you was
just felt
fat.
Not be
funny.
me.
Yeah.
Not when you was a fat boy.
Don't do me that.
And like, I think that like one of the main things that I realized was people were trying to fucking run from everything that they like. As I started to get down, and like y'all probably know the same exact feeling. Like as you start to get down, you start to really see what people are running from and like the excuses they're making to not face whatever the fuck they got going on.
Well, most
Yes.
people aren't happy with themselves.
Exactly.
Bro.
And so, like,
and the way they look.
Exactly. And so when you're not facing it, I mean, dude, you're just cramming it down. It's like throwing a fucking paper in your back corner and waiting until the paper's fucking 8 feet tall to really look at it, and then you shit a brick and you really don't want to deal with it.
And then usually by then you're so fucking fat
You're
that
so
you can't
done
do
that you
anything.
don't wanna
And you're
do
like, yeah, a lot of people.
And that goes with life too. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, it's the same as losing weight. It's like, that's why I always tell people like, all right, I'm running this brand, but I want my shit to be as equal as my body.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I want that shit to go hand in hand, basically. Like, I want to have that same mentality.
Correct.
But yeah,
That's how you got to approach it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, as I'm losing weight and as I'm getting down to a point where I'm really starting to feel like I don't know if y'all have experienced this, but there was kind of an equilibrium or like a tipping point where I felt like I had just gotten over the absolute hardest hump, and I was getting down below 200. I've fought between 201 pounds and 211 pounds for a year and a half. It was so ridiculous. And like, honestly, to the outside, it probably looks like, oh, well, you could have just focused in for 2 months. But it takes I started to get a little comfortable with myself. You know, I'm down there and I'm thinking like, all right, dude,
I'm looking good.
I'm looking fine. Like I can start the party now.
Fucking burger.
I can eat this burger and go
Kane's
work
calling
out.
my name in the cafeteria.
Bro. Exactly. So like, I'm starting to
reward yourself, and then you start rewarding yourself a little too much.
Mm-hmm.
That was the problem. I would get down to 202, 201.
Hit a candy.
2-3 weeks later, I'm back at 208, 209. I'm like, all right, focus back. It's like, it was telling. The biggest point was no consistency. It was too crazy, too little.
Well,
too crazy,
you
too little.
needed to learn balance because you was trying to live your life as a college kid, and like try to not look like you're about to have a heart attack.
And I think that's crazy too, because you got to get to a point to where you comfortable saying no to all the outside influence.
Well, most people aren't gonna understand. Like when I started bodybuilding, like I mean, dude, I would bring my meals with me everywhere, and they're like, "Bro, come eat here, come eat there." Yeah, and they're just like, "Bro, you crazy," and I'm like, "I know."
Yeah, and it's kind of like you lose friends, not losing, but you kind of put them to the side.
They're like, dude, this dude don't want to fucking drink all night with me and wants to eat a fucking chicken meal.
You know what I learned about all that is that they wish they could be you.
They wish.
Yeah.
They always
wish they could do that.
Look,
Most people can't do shit.
I noticed that was a huge thing. Was I realized that anyone who's real, I guess you could say insulting or more or less like whether it be like a tone, like level disrespect, or they're kind of disrespecting you, making it as a joke.
Yeah,
they all just probably wish they had the discipline that you're doing what you're doing.
Definitely.
100%.
Because like, I mean, 100%. Dude, like one quote that I heard that was still sticks with me. You're never going to hear shit from someone who's doing better than you. I've never heard shit from someone who's super fit and super disciplined.
They actually pumping you up.
They will literally always come up and be like, dude, you look great, man. Like, dude, you work your ass off. It's always the kids who are less disciplined, less focused, and less, just driven mentally who are always kind of be like, dude, you don't need all that.
Well, that's because they're telling you that they can't do that.
They can't do it, so they don't want you to
shouldn't do it either.
No,
exactly.
No.
I can't do it.
Come on, Mikey, don't get skinny, bro.
Jordan Peterson shit. Once you clean your room, a motherfucker be like, this motherfucker think he better than us.
Exactly.
Yeah, bitch, I wash my socks.
Yeah, fuck that.
Dude, look, I worked at a fucking bar in Lafayette for 2.5 months. I brought a meal. It was chicken and green bean. I worked from 9 to 4 a.m. I brought a meal from.
Should have brought 2 meals.
I know I should have. Goddamn.
2 meals and a protein shake.
I did bring a protein shake. I had to keep it in the bar fridge. They got Coronas, Millers, and my protein shake sitting in the fucking bar. So like, I'm sitting up there, I'm working the door, and I have chicken and green beans. Dude, I'm eating chicken and green beans. I shit you not, as I'm checking people's IDs. I have the meal in one hand, and I'm checking IDs in the other one like this, and I'm like eating in between as the people are coming in.
That's what it takes, bro.
And dude, the manager comes up to me and goes, bro, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, man, look, like, I got to get down to 215, bro. And he's just like, dude, put the fucking meal away. So I go scarf it in the corner, and I come back up to the door. And at that point, I was like, bro, am I doing too much?
Right.
And then as I realized, I was like, honestly, like, I think it's kind of fun, like taking my fucking meals and shit everywhere. Like, people are gonna say whatever the fuck they want.
It shows discipline, bro. And then you surprise yourself. You're like, damn, I didn't know I was capable of doing this.
Exactly, bro. Like, people hate fucking discipline, especially when they're not disciplined. Like, if you get up every day and you make your fucking bed and you go take a shower and you brush your teeth and you do the little bitty things that kind of take care of yourself, and you got someone who doesn't, who maybe lives like right next to you or comes over to your house all the time, bro, they're constantly going to tell you something about your room. They're going to be like, they'll pick and point little things about your room and be like, oh, dude, you got a fucking sock on the floor. Thought you clean your room every day. And it's like I love every single one of my friends, and I love them to death. They've never had to go through what I went through. No. And that's not their fault. It's completely my fault. I'll forever own that.
And it's not your fault. Because sometimes it's genetics,
bro.
Right.
It's genetics. You didn't like choose.
But there's things now, like there's days now, especially out in Baton Rouge, where like I'll get up and I have to cook for myself and I have to do all these things, and like a bunch of my roommates, they like to buy food a lot. They're all pretty shredded up and ripped, and like they always look incredible no matter what the fuck they eat or drink, and goddamn, I wish.
They die during the week and eat shit on the weekends.
Shit on the weekends, and like it doesn't affect them. But for me, you know, like like you said, doing it by yourself is waking up, you're cooking eggs, and then you go, you know, you lift, you go to class, you go to work, you find time, and like my days now are getting so fucking long. I mean, like if I don't wake up by 7, 8 o'clock, like realistically, I am in a rush the rest of my day, and that's just in college, obviously with class and. Like it's real difficult. I don't know necessarily how it is outside of college because I never.
And how old are you?
I'm 21.
Man, I just realized like how fast time goes.
Oh,
like
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And you realizing that like right now.
Yeah. No, it's ridiculous, dude. I mean,
Sean's just getting the hang of it.
Dude, look, last summer, I remember it was like last August or September. November. I went to Utah by myself. And
I saw that. Look tight.
Yeah, it was really cool. And there's a lot of weird people out there.
Yeah, I thought you was with like a bunch of people. You took some fire ass pictures.
Let's say
you
different.
took some
We're
dope
gonna
pictures.
say different people.
Yeah, it was just,
A lot of different people.
Different people.
I like weird people.
I didn't mean weird in a bad way.
No, I know.
But the people who I was having conversations with certainly put me on to some new things that I had never heard about.
That's what's up.
Yeah, because it's like a different world.
Oh, it was cool. I mean, the bartender, especially I went to this little bar out in Utah, and like this guy was talking about shit I had never even heard before, and I was just sitting there like trying to tell him like, you know, like I'm listening to you, but I really don't know what the fuck you're saying.
Right.
And like it was cool, but like when I went back in November, you know, the other like probably like 2-3 days ago, I looked at my pictures from it. I'm like, man, that's 5 fucking months ago, and so now I'm starting to catch the hang of, I guess you could say, time in general. Because like one thing my dad and especially my stepmom always tell me is like, dude, look, you got no fucking idea how fast this shit's gonna go. And now I'm sitting there thinking, I just turned 21 last September. It's now March of 2022. I turned 22 in 6 months. Like, I don't remember half the shit that happened.
Bro, I felt like I was 22 yesterday.
Exactly. Well,
but I'm not.
Well, look, that's another thing is like I realized that
Time waits for no man.
as it's moving, like, man, I only got so much time to really get to where I want to be at. And especially like the first priority is definitely with my, I guess you could say, physical fitness or just health overall. Like I realized that, dude, if I don't, like, you know those days where you tell yourself, you're like, oh man, like I'm not gonna do this today, but I'll do double tomorrow. And then you end up not doing double tomorrow.
Right. Yes.
Those days add up.
Yeah.
And if you do that 30 times over 2 months,
yeah,
then you only got a month's worth of work in 2 months. I was like, dude, like, how can I get myself up and I used to tell myself get motivated.
Yes.
Then I realized motivation was absolute bullshit to me. It was always like, you feel motivated on Tuesday, Wednesday, and then completely unmotivated Thursday through Sunday. Then I realized the only thing that's going to help you is just focus and discipline. And like, that's another hard thing for people to swallow, is realizing that the only way that you can get from point A to point B is just you focusing every single day. Nobody wants to focus. Focus is tiring.
Yes.
It's hard. It's difficult.
Discipline is tiring.
You know, like thinking about what you're eating, crunching numbers of what you're eating is horrible sometimes. Like sometimes you feel real good about it, and then sometimes you're like, dude, I don't want to.
What you was like counting your macros or something?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking shout out MyFitnessPal.
There you go.
The free version, of course.
But that's why I think they tell you to like make it like you be disciplined at first, but then it becomes like second nature.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And that was kind of what I had to get to was I realized, you know, as I started researching and watching video, I really got immersed in, like you said, like Jordan Peterson. I got immersed in Jordan Peterson, and I really got immersed in C.T. Fletcher. Do y'all know who C.T. Fletcher is?
Yeah.
Dude, let me tell you, whenever I didn't feel motivated, I would just search up C.T. Fletcher. And this dude's in his gym yelling. He's talking about, he's like, you ain't dieting for fucking taste. You know, you dieting to look like a bad motherfucker. And I just kind of adopted that. Like, I went from wanting to look good to wanting to look like a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like constantly. And I think that was a huge mindset. I mean, y'all kind of look like that motherfucker.
Well, I mean, you know,
man.
that's the same thing. That's what I tell people. Like, you know, when you're on a diet, it's not for pleasure. It's to just nourish your body, to do what you got to do, and that's it. when you have a cheat meal or whatever, that's when you enjoy it. That's when you earn it.
Right.
Yeah, you just put in the nourishment to do what it's got to do.
And man, that's what I was doing every day. Like it was a few years back. I was working at a plant in fucking Donaldsonville, and it was called CB&I. And I met this dude, and that's when I started really working out. Cause I always, like, even as young, we always used to be like, man, I want that fucking body. Like, I want that body, but. Like you just didn't know. Like, man, that's impossible. Like that shit not happening. Like
we wasn't working out.
And then when I started that, like, man, I started like fucking the bacon, the eggs, like whatever I got to, that fit me. And I started doing that. And then I would get home from work and go straight to the gym every day. And man, I was just like, damn, I can do this shit. That's when you realize, like, I really can do this shit. And that's when
when you start seeing the results too.
Yeah, it's the
like
results too. And then, it's like a drug.
Yeah, it is.
Well, it's a fucking drug.
It really fucking is.
Yeah, your body sends off signals of dopamine when you're working out.
And you get addicted, and I'm trying to get addicted
dude,
again.
One thing it always clicked for me in the gym, I'm sure it clicked for y'all as well, was when I was working out, no matter what other shit I went through in the day, failed a test, aced a test, had a great work day, had a shitty work day.
Right.
I realized that the gym was the only place that I would consistently do good at. And like, even with shitty days, when I was in there and sweating, I was like, bro, I'm doing something good. And then it got addicting because I was like, bro, no matter what shit, PSA, life sucks sometimes. Yeah. It is shitty.
Right.
A lot of bad shit happens to you, whether between family, friends, just personal life, finance, everything. If you're good at the gym and you know what you're doing and you like to go there, you can have a great day, or at least end it or start it the right way. And like, dude, it got to the craziest point where I was realizing that if everything else falls, like everything breaks down, family, friends, everything, for some reason I always felt that was the only place where I could push myself, surrounded by a bunch of other people pushing themselves, which doesn't really happen a lot.
Right.
It was just a crazy feeling once I started adopting like that drug addiction to it. Like, I was just like, dude, this is realistically the only place where I come and feel good every single time that I would leave.
And even if you don't look good, if you do that shit in the morning, you feel good throughout the whole day. It's just like that ice bath. You say you just, nothing can touch you. You have that feeling like, I worked out this morning. You know what I'm saying?
Eric has sensitive nipples too, and he still takes ice baths.
Hey, dude.
You feel that?
Them bitches get hard. Them bitches feel like rocks.
They show through your shirt?
Oh, dude, yeah.
And you don't want no beater.
Well, they're not as no. I remember when I wore that wife beater when we were playing basketball. My nipples got so raw from sweating, being fat, that they were bleeding.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't have that problem no more though, bro.
You used to bleed?
You dig.
Well, we used to ball so hard on the summer.
All right,
The glasses off, bro. Fucking technical difficulties.
They off.
That's my batteries are.
They off and on. It look like you doing that shit on purpose.
I know,
like you
bro.
got a blade button or
sounds
something.
voice activated.
Well, I mean, it's we having technical difficulties. I guess I'm running out of batteries. They keep going out.
Nah, leave them alone.
Yeah, fuck them. No, but I had we was playing ball one day, and it was like a hot ass summer, dude. I mean, we would play basketball pretty much all day. Brandy's house, in front of your house. I mean, just wherever we could like ball at. And dude, I would just, from being fat, I was just sweat so much, and just the shirt was like, my tank top was soaking wet. It just kept rubbing my nipples. Next thing you know, I'm like, damn, my nipples burning. Well, it's because they were bleeding, dude, from just like, and I mean, that was just like fat boy problems. I used to, chafe, all that shit.
The fat boy problems is a level that most people will never understand.
Oh yeah, bro, 100%.
Dude, I mean, like, I could think of probably 100 little things I used to do that I would call fat boy problems. I mean, dude, it's like you see your friend's plate ain't done, and your mind's telling you, bro, you're still hungry.
I'm looking at their plate while I'm eating my plate.
Exactly, and then if you put on a shirt and your nipples or your chest looks the wrong way.
I used to wear Under Armour shirts, the real tight shit to push my chest back.
And you know what else it does? Like it fucks you up with like women and shit.
Bro. Even if a girl is coming up to you and feeling you, you don't even feel yourself essentially. So you're like, how the fuck you gotta be fucking playing with me right now? Because I definitely don't like myself.
Did you really like me?
I was about to say,
you sure? You see these titties?
I mean, well,
my titties bigger than yours. What the fuck are you talking about?
So I had 3 sisters, right? And my 2 older and middle sisters, they used to always try to put their bra on me. They're like, "Oh, where my bra? Where my bra?" And I'm like, "No." And
I'd be demoralized.
You got to thank them.
Growing up, yeah, bro. Well, now they love my titties, you know, because they're like, "Damn, Eric, you got nice titties." I was like, "Thank you. I've been working these bitches out for 22 years."
Feel it, motherfucker.
That shit hard, huh?
For the brown knees.
But no, yeah. I know I'm probably like a double D by now, for sure.
Yeah,
Check him out.
At least.
Yeah. But when I got the surgery, it was literally half a pound of breast tissue, like women's breast tissue in each chest.
Damn.
So people were like, "Bro, just keep working out. And I was like, dude, I'm fucking, I wrestled in high school. I lost like 80 pounds, maybe not 80, like 60. And because I was always fat. Dude, I was a center when I played football at Park.
Oh, yeah, you big boy.
The fucking center, the
Big
biggest
boy.
dude on the team. I was so big, they made me weigh in my underwear. My mom got pissed.
Bro,
the only kid on the team,
same
bro.
here, bro. Wait, I
fucking
got
embarrassed, bro. And so like my mom was pissed, but like that was back in the day. So when people see me now and they're like, "No, there's no fucking way." I was like, "Bro, I was a catcher, a center, an outfielder. I played guard. Like I wasn't like a point guard, nothing like that. I was always like the fat fucking kid, but I
same
balled.
here.
I mean,
That's what I was saying. I was the athletic fat
yeah,
kid.
yeah, exactly.
Bro, they literally called me Big Mike in high school because they were like, bro,
Big Mick.
why are you so athletic but you fat as hell?
But I was like, I became
God,
like one of the fastest on the wrestling team as far as like once I learned how to do sprints and like got a little older and got a little leaner and like genetically, the only good thing about me is my legs. I mean, I got wheels.
Same.
I could just all day. Like, I know.
Same.
So it's like once I learned how to like run or sprint, a LSU football player taught me that. I was like, damn.
Nigga light on his feet.
Different story.
And it's all about that stride too. But like once I learned how to do that, I mean, dude, even right now at 36, I mean, I could run pretty fast. I think. I mean, as long as I don't pull a damn hamstring.
Right.
Y'all, I'm gonna be real. Y'all do not look y'all's age. Y'all
Thank
look
you, bro.
like goddamn mid
dude.
20s.
I mean, Ray Sean still looks 13 to
I
me,
was
bro.
about
to- Don't do
Fucking
me
savage, yeah, bro. Nah, he got the facial hair now for a long time, bro. I mean,
I'm about to say, if you had a shaved face, you probably look 24, 25.
Ray Sean's taller than me now, but when we were little, he was the smallest
I was
one,
the
like the
midget.
shortest,
Small guy.
yeah. But I mean, like, one of those pictures, I was like, damn, bro. I was like, how the hell he passed me up? I mean, I've been this height since 8th grade, then I stopped.
Really?
Yeah, so I was like, I thought I was gonna be tall at Ellender, and then like I got to Everett, and I was like, everybody passed me up. So I mean, yeah, it was just
bro.
weird.
I got to like,
I mean, I'm only 5'8", but I was like 5'8" almost in like 8th grade. So
yeah, see, I got to like 5'10" in like 9th grade. I'm like, oh, dude, sure, I should probably get 6 foot. And then I was like, well, nothing.
Shit, I'll
Right.
take 5'10" any
That
day.
bullshit.
I'll take 5'9".
I'll trade you for your legs.
Shit, bro. Nah, bro, you could build these easy.
The
5
only
days a week.
thing I got is my legs genetically. Everything else got to come with goddamn blood, sweat, and tears.
You used to squat every day, you said?
Dude, Cole, my stepbrother,
Yeah.
he told me that someone asked him if the only thing I worked out was legs. And I couldn't tell if that was a compliment or not.
Right,
I was like, I don't know if y'all were
Yeah, you got to
dissing
take that one as
everything
a
else.
compliment.
Yeah.
That
It was
bitch
like
think my
one of
leg look
it's like
good.
one of the ones you say thank you, but you're like, what the fuck you mean by that?
Well, you know,
Right.
is the light still off?
Yeah. Eric, you're
Man, leave them fucking glasses on.
Well, no, because it ends up looking stupid. Look, I got to take one pee break, and then I'll let y'all keep talking. I'm gonna go switch
You
it
gonna
out.
drain the
Yeah,
whistle?
Yeah.
Drain the what Bobo says. I got to go talk to a man about a horse.
Yeah. Hey, don't piss
That
on
would
your
be
balls. Yeah. Shout out Trevor Smith for telling me that. So look, when I was in when I was 9 or 10 years old, I used to be a running back. My little fast white fat ass. I used to be a running back. I'll never forget this day. I was playing guard, and this coach comes up to me and he goes, we're playing against another playground, and he comes up to me and goes, all right, we're gonna run a guard around. You gonna pull, we're gonna hand you the ball. I get the ball, I'm stiff arming, trucking these little ass
Mike
kids in the
Allstott.
way. You ever seen The Blind Side?
Yeah.
I was like that, but like the short white version. And so like I'm trucking these kids and throwing these kids out the way, and I get down to the end zone and I'm just hearing whistles and whistles. This kid's mom ran on the field. I'm 10 years old, so like this shit's kind of traumatizing. Runs on the field and goes, that fucking kid is too damn big to be running a football. They brought a scale out onto the football field with my pads and helmet on. I was 10 years old and weighed me. And they said I was too big to run the football. So they brought the football all the way back. So the whole stands for the other playground is cheering, calling me fat, like saying this kid's too damn big and all this shit. And I'm sitting there like 10 years old, like, God damn, bro. Like, I'm getting hated on right now for being a big ass running back.
I mean, and that's another story, bro, because I hate that shit completely.
Dude,
as far as like when parents get involved with sports, I think they separate kids like that.
It's the absolute worst, bro.
Because they make everything feel like the kid is against,
yeah,
you know, the other kid. And he's like, oh, I'm faster than you. Like, no. You just play that position because that's the position you fit. Like, you know what I'm saying? But parents,
it's always the parents who are trying to, like, put their kids in, like, a position. They think their kid's going to, like, the NFL when they're, like, 6 years old. And they're like, bro, if my kid don't play running back, we're going to another playground type shit.
Yes.
It was just, dude, it was just a weird experience because, like, you know, when you're 10, you don't really think of yourself as big because everyone, you know, y'all play the same sports. You do the same things. You go to the same tournaments. You eat the same food. Like, you just eat like shit. So that was probably the first time in my life, really, when I was pretty much exclaimed in my face and told in my face, like, bro, you're just too damn big. And I was like, damn. So I couldn't.
And that may have not even been the fucking truth.
No, yeah.
Like, that's what pisses me off because.
It probably wasn't.
But it's just truth, like honestly. The parents. It's just like,
it's just the parents, bro.
Bro, it's always ridiculous. And it gave the other fucking people a pass just because they saying this kid is too fucking big.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
Yeah, it was bad.
But they don't understand what they doing to a child at that moment. Yeah. Like, you just out there, bitch, having fun. Like, bitch, I just ran over everybody.
Exactly, bro. No, I literally, bro, I hit the end zone. You know, like, I toe flip my ball. I'm doing my little gritty over there in the end zone. Yeah. And the coach comes out there and he's like, do a fucking scale. Do you know how embarrassing it is to get scaled in front of 50 little kids and all their parents at 10 years old? Like, bro, I have never felt that embarrassed in my life.
And just imagine some of the kids on the other team went to your school. Was like,
that's what I'm saying, bro. Fat ass. Yeah, your fat ass can't even run. And dude, look, the lunch.
The scale from your fat ass.
Somebody says that under their breath. They're like, this fat ass motherfucker.
Right. Like, I'm fucking Deuce Bigelow be like, that's a huge bitch. That's a huge bitch.
Got Moby Dick running the football.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Oh, dude, it's bad. So, like, dude, look, that's another thing. The lunch table. Man, look, all through high school, I never really took offense to it. But then as I got older and I started losing weight, I started really realizing the undertones of the jokes that people were saying, if you know what I mean. Like, I realized that jealousy is always hidden, not jealousy essentially, but
it's hidden
like
in jokes.
Insecurity is always hidden in jokes. Jealousy is always hidden in jokes. So I realized that every time somebody was telling me something, and like, dude, don't get me wrong, this is a bitch to get over with. It's a hard pill to swallow. Like, it takes for a long time to realize that people fucking with you is not on you. No. It's just a reflection of them. And that took me,
I used to almost get into a lot of fights because for that reason, I learned to become a jokester. Like, so it's like you might tell me something, but
I'm coming right back.
And then these bigger dudes won't get mad at you and won't fight. Yeah. But it's like, hold on, you was just cracking on me because of my height. But now I talk some shit, you know what I'm saying?
Well, dude, that was another thing. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, I got real good. I guess it's kind of fucked up. I got real good at like fucking with people because I got kind of tired of people fucking with me. So I got real smart, and like I would get real. Like if you said something, I would try and come right back
on your ass,
right back.
And it was some shit you ain't like,
right? And so like it would lead me to a point where now I'm having like disconnects with my friendships and like close friends because they tell me something, I don't want to hear it in my head. And I'm like, they think it's all fun and games. But then I say something, you know, kind of back and it disconnects you as your friends. But I started to realize that me coming back at them was just because I was unhappy. Like I just didn't like the way I looked and I didn't want people coming at me for it.
Right.
And that was another fucking thing to swallow. I mean, dude, this fat loss journey took me through probably felt like 3 lifetimes of lessons that I learned. Like I had a friend of mine in high school that I used to always jump on his ass like real quick, and like we were real close friends, like it didn't matter, but like, he would get annoyed sometimes and like I would just say some quick sarcastic shit.
You'd
a lot
be
of
pushing
times.
him, huh?
I'd be pushing him a little bit and like, you know, kind of messing with him.
Eric one got his batteries.
Yeah, bro.
You got your batteries back?
I'm bright. I'm bright as night right now, bro.
Cyclops over there, man.
You look better than the lights behind you.
Right. Oh, look. I got a fucking button.
I'll be back again. You heard me? I'll be back again.
Yeah, but what
Everybody's
you
probably like,
saying,
shut the
man?
fuck up,
I
Eric.
was just saying, I used to have this friend, and I would push him a little bit, and
I know it sounded like he was bullying him from what I just heard.
Yeah, like it kind of now that I'm thinking about it, even though we're kind of going back and forth, like I started to realize, and this was a huge thing I had to realize about myself was, bro, the only reason you were saying shit is because you was unhappy with yourself, and
right.
You never want to have that conversation with yourself, but goddamn, you need to sometimes. So
Right.
I know people who still fuck with people on a daily basis, and I observe now more than I talk, and so now I see it as, look, they got some deep ass problems. So whatever they're saying don't matter about you, because I'm telling I really started to realize that the minute people open their mouth about someone else, it's mainly about something they don't like about themselves. And that was a huge ball turning point.
Or something they feel they can do, basically.
Yeah,
they should be doing.
They should be.
Yeah, they should be doing. Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah, we got deep while you were in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, bathroom break, and I was trying to find batteries, people, because these,
It still looks good.
I mean, thank you.
It still
I feel like they're a little brighter. People are probably like, look at this asshole. Why is he wearing glasses? Because I fucking want to.
Because I feel like
It's my show.
So look,
Do what we
Eric,
want.
I got a question for both of you, Rashawn and Eric. So at what point in the last, however long y'all's fitness journey has been, at what point did you really start to feel like you were confident enough in yourself to kind of go out and even help other people?
Dude, that's a hard question.
you
I've been
mean,
helping
help other people?
a long time.
I kind of got to a point where, if someone were to ask me, when I first started, if someone were to ask me for advice, I wouldn't know what the fuck I was going to say. 0 cents. No idea. But now, it's like if someone asks me a question, I feel like I have some answers for them. Just because I've, kind of trial and error and I've been through the whole tribulation of all this type of shit. So, I don't know. I mean, y'all too fit.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, Ray. I mean, Ray's journey is a little different than mine because I started mine at 14, 15 because I was like that, and wrestled in high school and to lose weight. I tried to make the football team. I made it, but I was sitting on the bench and I wasn't good enough. Even though we balled our whole lives, I just wasn't at that level. And I really didn't like football. I just wanted to look like a bodybuilder. So I seen all the dudes in a wrestling team, and I was like, shit, man, I need to go wrestle. So I ended up going to do that. And my wrestling coach was my first through fifth grade PE coach, and he had been trying to get me to wrestle since first grade. But I was so fat, and I didn't want to wear a singlet.
Bottle, go ahead.
You got it, bro.
But you didn't want to wrestle, but what?
I didn't want to wear those singlets. So there you go. Because I had the boobs and stuff, and I didn't want to wear tight clothes. I didn't want my belly to be popping out. But dude, if I would have when I joined the wrestling team in 9th grade, I was probably 190. For a 9th grader, that's pretty bad,
Yeah.
And
Actually, that's
I think I dropped down to 145 by the end of my 9th grade year because I was just cutting and cutting.
Yeah.
But dude, I guess when I don't know. I'm rambling a little bit.
I mean, no, but you started helping people.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I was helping people before,
What made you want to help those people? After
that's pretty much what my question was.
Yes.
You got to a point where you realize, dude, I've done this.
Oh, because I know what it's like.
Exactly.
I know what it's like not to know. I mean, I've had 6 different coaches.
Yeah.
I've done almost 6 different bodybuilding shows. I've tried every diet. And I'm still trying to figure it out, but because I know what it's like to be always be fat, and your body wants to actually be fat and not be skinny, because you see your fellow cousin, whoever it is, siblings, cousins, friends, and everybody's skinny, and you're just always fat. So I know what it's like to not want to look like that.
I think that one of the things that I realized kind of as I was going was I started to really think about, like you said, the people who necessarily don't know. And believe it or not, I still can vividly see myself as a kid in the academy dressing room, the second dressing room, by the way. I could still see myself all the time. Like, there's times where, you know, you can like, I can kind of blink and still see it in the mirror. And it's a crazy out of body like experience. But it's just like, dude, now that I know where I've came from and the things that I've done and like, it's kind of weird to think about, like 3 years have passed pretty much from like right now to where I was really like starting to kind of get into it and kind of care about my quality of life.
Right.
Because like, dude, when you're young, I mean, for me at least, it was about all I wanted to do was travel and make videos. Like, you know, I do my videography.
Correct.
I just wanted to travel, make videos, make life as fun as possible. My health was kind of in the back seat for a long time, for like 2-3 years after being 17. And that was one of the things that I told you I wanted to talk about was, like, if you're listening or watching to this and you think or know that you need to make a change at some point and you kind of putting it off, like, don't worry, you ain't fucking alone. I put it off for 5-6 years. I was huge and I was overweight and I was fat and I was waking up feeling disgusting, and like, you do everything in your power to hide it.
Right.
I mean, dude, you wear big clothes. I wore a fucking waistband strap thing to my senior prom to not let my stomach fall out.
Yep.
You know, like anything.
Yep.
And that's another, like, you're just worrying about other people and like worrying about what they're thinking.
And that's miserable.
Oh, it's fucking horrible, dude. You're basically living for someone else's eyes.
Yes.
I would put it as.
I ain't gonna lie, I was tucking those wife beaters in pretty tight every day just to keep my chest flat.
Yeah, bro. Like, you sit there and you're looking for, instead of really, and that, you know, it kind of sucks to think about, but I wasted so much fucking time thinking about and trying to hide something that no one else was even fucking thinking about.
You know, you said you
didn't even fucking enjoy yourself.
No, dude, I wasn't enjoying myself for the last
Remember how you said you used to take your shirt off, like, and like look at everybody else? I wouldn't even take my shirt off.
Yeah,
and that fucks up relationships too, because
big time,
you
dude,
wondering like, why this motherfucker like me?
Yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, dude.
Even though they like you for who you know are, but
and you see
still,
like another dude that like looks like you wish you could look, and you're like, damn, I wonder if she looking at
like,
him.
jealousy plays
why
a
would
part,
you not look at him?
Yeah,
you
I'm
know?
fucking.
You got a dude who's fucking shredded up. He's got some money to him. He's, you know, he's in the right way,
and he's confident because
he's confident. And you're over here, you know, you're unhappy, and like, even though you might portray, like, I got one of the biggest reasons I wanted to lose weight. I got so fucking tired of wearing like a fucking mask all the time. I was basically every day I was waking up wearing a mask, telling people, you know, like I was happy because I was, you know, doing what I like to do. I was making videos and traveling and going to fests. None of that shit really mattered, because every single time I'd leave one of those events or make a video, I'd still look at myself and be like, bro, you haven't changed. Like, you doing all this shit, but it don't matter. Like, yeah, you did it and you had fun, but like, dude, it was so bad in my head that all I wanted to do was change, which is why I went so strict on it. Because like, I knew that if I didn't do it ASAP, I was gonna, like, I don't know if y'all can relate to this, but you ever had that feeling to where you're doing something consistently for whether it be a whole day or a week, and then you know, you do whatever on a weekend, or you go somewhere for a trip and you eat like shit and you try and kind of fit in with the people around you, and then you come back and you realize you're back to square one.
You're back to square one.
And then you do it for 3 days, and then you do it again, and then you're back to square one. And like, that was me for like 2 or 3 years. Yeah. And it was absolutely horrible. I remember I used to wake up after going out on like a Saturday night, trying to do your whole college fucking thing, and like, you go out, you have fun, you dance, and then you wake up the next morning, and all I could think about was, why? Like, why? The shit that's gonna make you really, really happy, like genuinely happy, is so far away, and you keep doing the same fucking shit every single weekend.
And time is passing.
Time keeps passing. So like, no matter what you think that you're doing, 5, 6 days, 7 days a week are going to pass. And if like, it just comes back to choice and focus. Like, dude, every single fucking thing that I realized about fat loss is just a choice.
Right.
Like at ULL, my first year, when I stopped going to the cafeteria, I remember I used to make this choice. I used to walk back from my biology class, and I'd pass the cafeteria, and I'd look at it, and I'd see all these kids, you know, they're eating whatever the fuck they want, and like ice cream in the middle of the day. Walk my ass down to the little corner shop and get a salad and an orange and a water. And like, it sucked.
It fucking
It
sucks. I know
bro.
it sucks.
It's ass because like you want to be in there talking with everybody instead.
Lettuce ain't fun and it don't smell good.
Fuck no, dude. And like
It ain't fun all the time.
you're sitting in your fucking dorm eating this, but the thing you got to remember, especially if you're on a fat loss journey or even a weight gain journey, the minute that you separate yourself and go do that by yourself, you're already 10 steps ahead.
Oh yeah.
Because like what I used to do is I used to envision myself like I kind of got real philosophical with my fat loss because I knew how much of a life-changing effect it would have. Because I joined this group on Facebook. It was called like One Up Nutrition Transformation.
Yeah.
And I joined it, and all these older people, 30, 40, 50 years old, losing 60 pounds. You know, they're like, I can play with my fucking kids again. You're like, oh, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, dude, you're only 18. You do this now. I mean, you're set.
Right.
You adopt this now instead of at 40 or 50 when most people catch themselves, you know.
Right.
So like you adopt this shit now and you become disciplined now. I mean, your whole life is set up for that. And like, I just remember I would compare myself when I was eating this jank ass salad and this orange for like dinner. I used to think, all right, either you're in here doing this or you're eating 3,000 calories in this fucking cafeteria. And that was absolute game changer for me. And I would just do that every single day. And it got harder and harder and harder and harder. And it never gets, you never really figure it out. You just keep fucking doing it every single time, praying that you're making the right choice.
Well, it's simple. It's having the discipline to say, like, I'm not going to eat that, which is hard because you're human.
Yeah, and that's the big thing. It's like people always want to, you know, make fat loss and weight gain complex. You know, you got people saying, hey, if you want a spot loss fat in your stomach, do this ab workout, this 15-minute ab workout at home. It's all bullshit, dude. Like y'all know
there is no such thing as spot reduction.
There ain't no spot fat loss. There ain't no emergency diets. There ain't no fucking fat pills that'll keep 60 pounds off you. If you're taking fat pills, and believe me, I've done it. I mean, I don't know if y'all have done it, but those fat loss pills.
I took hydroxycut, the real shit, like 3 pills twice a day,
dude.
And I fasted all day and wrestled. And so like I would eat once a day. It was so unhealthy.
You lose all of it. You know, you feel like you're making progress. It's the complete wrong type of progress. And like, I remember I used to see myself. I remember this one time I lost 5 pounds in 3 days. I was taking this One Up Nutrition. It was like pretty much like a hydroxycut. And I was literally losing a pound a day almost. And I thought to myself, I was like, is this really how fat loss goes? Like, I see people waiting like 2-3 years to lose like a few pounds.
Right.
And of course, you know, you hop off of it, you eat like a normal person again, it goes right back.
Right.
You get those 10 pounds back. Because like we were talking about before we even started, if you're on a fat loss journey or a weight loss or a muscle gain journey, every crossroad you come to and you think that there's a way around it or a shortcut or an undercut, every single fucking person in the entire universe has tried it before. You're not the first person to invent something about fat loss. You're not the first person to invent some magic pill. You're not the first person to think there's a special meal or like keto or all this stuff that'll change your life. Like, it's just being consistent.
Yes.
And it's such a bitch because it's so simple, but it's so difficult.
Yes. I've tried every diet, bro.
The repetition.
Every diet technically works, but it's like, which one can you stick to forever?
Yes.
Like, I knew me personally, I couldn't do keto or carnivore, all that stuff, because like I enjoy food. And like, I like to enjoy food a lot. You know, like if I'm going to a restaurant, I want to order something I've never had before.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I did carnivore before. I tried them all. It's just.
How was a carnivore diet?
Well, I would pretty much eat steak twice a day with 6 whole eggs every day for 6 days, and then on Sunday I would cheat, which was not what you were supposed to do. But I was like, oh well, if I put in 6 days 0 carbs and just do whatever I want on Sunday, it'll balance out. Well,
metabolism spike,
dude. It fucked my stomach up. I was like shitting black for like 3 days. I thought something was wrong with me, and my wife was like looking it up. I mean, it was like a technical term, but
babe, can you come in here?
Yeah, they talk about like that body transition where from like your body. Yeah. Hey, bro, it was about as black as these shirts, bro. And I was like, that's different,
babe. I'm shitting 2x4s in here. What the fuck is going on?
It was just like it was weird because like even though I was eating steak and eggs, it was like water. It was the weirdest.
Yeah, man.
So I broke out of that, and now for me, you know, personally, after I've tried every diet, you know, everything, no carbs, tons of carbs, all fats, no fats, protein. it's like a balanced diet of protein, carb, and fat. But everybody's body is different, so you may respond more to a little bit of carb, higher fat, medium protein. Like it's not like when people cut the fats and they do the high carbs or the high protein or fucking like almost no carbs and like barely any fats. It's like you need fat for hormone production. You need carbs for your brain to think. So it all works together. Just not too much of anything.
And I think people have to find something that is good for them. Like
like I love fasting, but my problem is I don't eat the right amount of food when I fast, so I'll end up eating junk.
Exactly.
I could fast 2 days straight, 3 days straight. I've done it, but it's when it's time to eat, I don't make the right choices.
Shit
and when you break fast, that's like one of the most important choices, because if you put like garbage in, your body's just like, damn, bro, you giving me like trans fats and all this other junk instead of giving you like some clean carbs, some clean protein, like something to like ease into it.
That's why I said we need his money. We need his money, because I feel like if I had somebody to do those things for me, I'd be disciplined, but it's like, all right, if it's late at night and you got nothing to fucking eat, you're gonna be like, oh man, I'm gonna just have this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like a banana and a peanut butter with maybe a little bit of honey is probably healthier than a pint of Ben and Jerry's like I would normally do. So you'd actually like not really gain the weight back.
Fucking Ben and Jerry's is so good though.
Oh, it's amazing. Tonight, though. Shout out, sponsor.
Ben and Jerry's, please.
So, bro, so what's your life looking like right now at like today? Like, what's your regimen? Like, what do you do?
So right now, believe it or not, I got fucking 2 jobs at college. One of them is performance training with Oshner.
Tight.
Shout out Oshner. Thank you. Shout out. Another one is I'm working at the Lodges, the apartment complex. So my day is pretty hectic between classes and
where's your training coming in?
So it really kind of depends. Like it varies on the day, which is weird because I would love to train at the same time every day. Right. And like last semester we were all online because of the whole LSU going back and forth with COVID and all this shit. So I was working out around noon every day, and it was awesome. Like I got into such a routine. I would eat at 10 in the morning, go to the gym for 12, and then do all my homework and work from all night. But now that school is back in person, it's waking up 7, 8 a.m. ish. You kind of get ready for class. You go to class, come back, immediately go to work from either 4 to 7. Sometimes I go coach Oshner like 5:30 in the morning. Come back, take a nap, go to class for 3-4 hours. After class you go to work, and then after work get off at 7. You shit tired. That's where the pre-workout comes in. At Total War, Tiger's Blood. That's my baby.
There you go.
And
shout out.
So sometimes I'll be working out around 8 o'clock at night. Like, don't get me wrong, I love night lifts. And for people who don't know, there's a huge difference between night lifting and morning lifting. Morning lifting has a whole different type of benefits. You feel good throughout the day. You can't lift this heavy though. You got to stretch a little bit more. Night lifting, you got a little bit more energy in you.
Well, it's because of the amount of food.
Yeah, you relieve your stress. Yeah. You sleep a little better unless you take a lot of caffeine I do.
Yeah, if you train fasted in the morning, you have almost 0 carbs in you, so you have no pump.
Right, exactly.
Because the carbohydrates and the water.
That's the thing. Like, I hate morning training just for me because I really like to go in there with like a day behind me.
I love training fasted, but for bodybuilding and muscle building, it's not good.
And it's just like for me, it was more of a mental thing. I enjoyed going into a gym after a day because I always found it as a stress relief rather than a stress relief in the morning. And
usually if you train in the morning, it prepares you for the whole day because you're like, oh shit, if I'm like squatting 300 pounds at like 5 a.m., shit, the rest of my day is cake.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
And like I've had morning work, I'll get it in and I'll sweat, and by the time I'm back in my bed, people that I know are just waking up, and people are just getting up to their day, and I'm like, dude, I already, I'm
fucking wired after I work.
Already hit
when I work out in the morning, I'm fucking wired up.
It's wired, bro, because I eat a little bit.
I'm still up from this morning. Me and Alyssa went at like 6 a.m.
Yeah, dude,
I'm fucking still up.
Up by 8 a.m. going to class from 9 until 12:31, and then working usually from like 4 to 7, 4 to 8, and then Tuesday, Thursday, I'm in class from 12ish to 3, and then I got work from 4 to 7. So like, each day I'm trying to find a spot to work out in.
Right, like a window.
And I hate that. I hate being rushed. I hate being rushed to work out. Like, it's fun sometimes because you go in there and you just superset and you kind of go crazy for like
and you get like a little sick pump sometimes.
It's fun, but like I genuinely enjoy going to the gym, which is why I really like night lifts. I like going to the gym knowing I have nothing after, which means I can go as hard as I want for as long as I want. And I can do cardio out there and go sit in the sauna. Don't really have to worry about anything because I got all my stuff done during the day.
Decompress.
Right. So like that's a huge thing for me is college right now. I find that weightlifting is so much more of a stress relief.
So that's where you staying at, like in college?
Yeah. So this is my senior year at LSU, and you know, now that we just came back on campus, it's so difficult to find a groove because every day you either got class canceled or you're off work or you're on work or you got things to do. You know, you got LSU baseball games. You're just trying to find time for everything throughout the day.
Right.
And that's why I feel like my days are going. So for my friends and my family who know me, like no matter what, I will go to the gym. It does not matter the time. Like it does not matter.
Yeah, it's part of your life now.
It does not matter. Like I've come home from a dinner at like 10:30, and you know we had some beers and stuff. And
that's when you're motivated.
I'm like, dude, I'm going to the gym. Yeah. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? You just had like 4 beers. I'm like, dude, pre-workout is about to kick my ass. I'm going to the gym.
Yep.
I go over there and I do it, and then you come back, and like you said again, you feel like I'm just doing more.
Well, you feel accomplished because like you know, okay, all my boys stayed at the house, they having fun, they playing video games, whatever. And I'm actually like putting in this work that at most, you know, 11:30 at night. Yeah,
I'll be back in an hour.
I trained like that for 2 years, bro.
And then so you sit there and you think like while you're training, like, dude, look, if I'm here, that means I got it.
Y'all motherfuckers sleep.
Y'all ain't built like
hey, bro,
that.
Look. What sucks about like the fitness community now is that when I was training and competing, I was the only one in the gym every day.
You were competing?
Yeah, I did like 6 shows, 5 or 6 shows.
What the fuck?
Yeah, like when Men's Physique first came out, I competed the first year that started. I wasn't like anything special. I mean, I didn't even place well. But
it doesn't even matter. I did
it because I wanted to like get on stage and like prove to myself, like, hey, bro, you can look like that.
I might have to do that, Eric.
You should.
When I get down to 185, I might have to do it.
You got the physique, bro. You just, if you have the right coaching and you do the right nutrition, like I always tell people, it's 80% diet, 20% training. Right. I used to train 100% in like
kind of
even when my diet was on point, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't the right amount of food. It wasn't, you know, I didn't understand how to eat until years and years later. And now it's like, if I do my diet 100% and don't cheat unless my coach tells me, I still have a coach. Shout out Brock Termini. Then I don't have to go to the fucking gym as long. I don't have to spend 2 and 3 hours there. I don't have to kill myself twice a day. Like I used to think.
To learn
cardio at the right amount and training, as long as when you're maximizing your lifts, like when I'm there, if I'm training for 45 minutes, I'm training. And I just look, to me personally, better than I ever looked. And I mean, I've done a lot of things. I've taken a lot of different gears, as we would call it.
So what was it? You say you was training for what?
Well, I tried out for bodybuilding. Dieted with some friends that like didn't, you know, it was guys that had competed in the past, but they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Right. Okay. They were like, yeah, man, eat like 2 cans of tuna fish a day and eat some strawberries and eat some lettuce. Dude, I did that for like 6 months, bro, without cheating. Horrible. Without cheating. I used to suffer. And then I got with my coach, one of my first coaches, Kaz Guidry, shout out. He was like, give me 10 weeks of your life and you'll look the best you've ever looked. And by 6 months, I'm like, dude, I don't want to fucking do this, bro. I'm done. But I've seen, like, you know, me and him went to high school together. I know he was a bodybuilder, and he almost turned pro. And I was just like, you know, I seen all of his competitors. I was like, well, fuck it, man. I've already went this far. So I went 10 more weeks, bro. And in 10 weeks, I looked the best I ever looked in my life.
Right. I think I remember that shit.
Yeah,
seeing
dude,
it on Instagram
but I was so, it was like right when Instagram came out, it was like still Facebook. But right when, after that happened, dude, I had like a poor relationship with food. I fucking started, I couldn't stop eating candy. And I gained like 50 pounds in like within a week. So I went from like 167 shredded, as shredded as I could be for, you know, first time competing, to just like 210, 215, bro, just feeling like shit, lethargic, swollen, looking at yourself like, what the fuck.
What year was this?
I think I was I don't know, dude. I gotta look it up on Facebook.
I mean, and where were you? I think
I was like 24.
Look it up on my
23. Yeah, 23, 24.
Did you get in a relationship, or were you in a relationship at the time?
I was pretty much in a relationship by then, but and she didn't understand it, you know, because most people don't, you know, bodybuilding, it's a crazy life.
Yeah, it's
and yeah, So I gave it up for about 6 months. I was still going to the gym, but I was just horribly fat. And then it took me like, you know, I wanted to do another competition, and I would always go to him like really fat.
Yeah.
So I've never like, you know, that's why I always commend you. It's like you've maintained like this level of like leanness to where like with me, I like went up and down, up and down.
Well, that's one thing that I had to learn. My first year, I mean, I wanted to lose, and like this is a horrible.
And you did
think.
it all natural, guys. He's natty, 100%, and I can't say the same for myself because I thought that okay, I can't lose weight, you know, at the rate that I'm going. I have to do something different.
Yeah.
I mean, in high school, I took steroids. You know, I wanted to get rid of my gynecomastia, bitch tits. That didn't work. You know, I got those removed. So there's like a lot of things about like, you know, fitness and weight loss that people don't understand.
Yeah. I think that, you know, like obviously the thought always is going to cross your mind, especially when you got people who you know.
Like, dude, I only did it to lose weight.
Right,
but
exactly.
it didn't even work that way. I actually, because then I was still cheating. So like what people don't understand when you like take testosterone, yeah, if you take it correctly and eat correctly, burns fat, builds muscle.
Yeah.
If you're more like endomorph, mesomorph, kind of like, you know, on the fatter side, which is a body type, and you eat Mickey D's on the weekends and shit and go party with your boys, you're going to fucking gain about 10 extra pounds of fat and water. So it's a reverse, you know. So it's
kind of even worse.
Just because you're sticking that needle in your ass doesn't mean you're gonna look like the Hulk. It's actually the opposite. You have to work twice as hard because those hormones are fucking.
I think that's a huge. And look, that's a huge problem at LSU.
Oh yeah, well at any
just
school,
college in general.
just dude, high school, middle schools.
I mean, dude, you got fucking kids who they want to look the best that they ever can in 4 years.
And dude, if they only knew that if they dieted correctly,
only knew, right?
If I knew what I knew now, dude, in high school and wrestling, I probably would have been a 4-time state champion just by diet alone.
Correct.
I was under eating, never ate. I trained, you know, 3 hours a day for school, taking hydroxycut, bro. I mean, there was times where like my stomach would have cramps in the morning from taking it on an empty stomach, and I was like, oh fuck it, it'll go away, and it'll go away by like midday. But I did that for years, dude. I mean, my body, my insides are probably.
And putting yourself through that bullshit.
Right, but my doctor, you know, I'm pretty, as far as I get checked up regularly. You know, I do a lot of different things that some people, you know, because of those choices I made, the consequences for that is I go to a hormone doctor, you know, like, so there's things now like that because I wanted that plastic trophy or like that recognition now, like for the rest of my life, I have to do shit a certain way because of that.
I think, so to add on to what you're saying about, you know, whether it be taking gear or feeling like you may... It could have been, you know, it was kind of what you wanted at the moment, not in the long run. You got fucking people who now, you know, like, granted, I've never been a part of necessarily a fitness industry. Mine has been strictly about my
yeah, me
own,
neither, bro.
You know?
Well, yeah, it was me battling me.
Right. So, like, you know, like, don't get me wrong, I love social media sometimes. You know, like, I like to post my creative shit on there, and I like to make videos and, you know, kind of express myself through there, but I see so much shit, and now that I've been, like when I was before, it'd probably catch my eye and I'd probably do it. But now you got all types of people saying, you know, do this 10-minute at home ab workout and you'll have a 6-pack in fucking 3 months. That's all they say. That's all they say. And it's got a fucking hip TikTok song behind it, and everyone's like, oh my God, I'm gonna try it. And then that, like, you gotta fucking understand, it's so simple, but it's so difficult, especially now with social media, because now you got people telling you, like if you scroll through an Instagram-related reel page, you'll see 60 different workouts that are promising you the same thing every day. They're like, oh, do this, and you want to drop 30 pounds in a month? Do this 10-minute at-home squat jump workout.
Right.
It's like, dude,
it's bullshit.
Y'all don't know fucking shit, but I feel bad because I've been in the position where you don't know shit.
Yeah. Well, dude, I mean, I'm 36 and I didn't start learning how to lose weight properly until about 33.
Yeah.
There's a doctor that I follow, Dr. Lane Norton. Shout out. He's to me, he's like one of the smartest guys. He's got a degree in protein synthesis, and instead of following like all the bro science guys, and even some of like my previous coaches in the past, you know, some knew what they were doing, some didn't. This guy like is science based, and that's what he said. He's like, you know, I study this shit. This is what I do. And it's, you know, he's busted so many myths. And I think when people like start like now, like you're fortunate enough, I didn't look like that at 22, dude. Right. I didn't. That y'all have so much more readily available with the internet and social media. there's just so much knowledge out there. And I mean, tried carnivore diet. I knew it was bullshit because at the end of the day, it's like you cannot sustain that.
Nah,
It does,
hell
you know,
no.
like Jordan Peterson, him
Aren't you
and his
supposed to do
daughter.
that for only like 30 days?
Well, like Jordan Peterson, him and his daughter had like, you know, health issues.
Yeah.
And so like it did help with that. So
He
like
did
I'm not
say
saying
that.
like,
But like
for,
I said, that it different shit affects different, you know.
well, correct,
people,
correct,
you know?
correct. And that's why I'm saying I had like those problems towards the end to where like, you know what? I actually didn't even do it 100% like I was supposed to. So
Right.
I can't really say
Whether that
wasn't-
worked or not.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct. But I was dropping weight like a motherfucker and like getting strong from, like I started feeling kind of primal, which is what people were talking about being on carnivore.
You ever
like
seen
just-
Liver King? What up, Primals?
What?
Hey, I'm going to take a piss break.
All right. What's up, Rick?
What's up, man? But yeah, man, you look good.
Hey, bro. I've been watching you hit them push-ups on the internet, and I know you got the little weights at home, but
But that's about it. 30s
Yeah.
and the little push-up thing.
That's all you
and
need,
fucking
bro.
squats with dumbbells, man.
hey,
That's
man,
about it.
You stay consistent though, and I was watching you throughout the years.
Yeah, man, I used to go to the gym, but I always get sidetracked or something will fuck me up. Cause I guess I'm the type of person that everything has to be in line, and if it isn't, like it'll fuck me clean up. Like say I get to the gym and my fucking headphones dead, you know what I'm saying? So it's
Right.
like, now I gotta go home, and
Right.
I wouldn't even work out anymore. Like you know what I'm saying?
Right,
So,
right.
and that's what I say about like the gym. If you ain't going there for like yourself,
Right,
other people ain't trying to work out like what you trying to
Right.
do.
right.
If I could go back, you know, and speak to my 18-year-old self, the first thing I would probably say is, you know, slow the fuck down, slow your mental down.
Right.
Ain't shit gonna happen in 3 weeks. Ain't shit gonna happen in 6 weeks. Ain't shit gonna happen in 2 months. Now you could definitely make some progress, you know, in that time, but it will, like if you, like we were talking about C-Bum just now,
Right.
C-Daddy.
Shout out.
Bum Daddy, as you want to call him. And
Chris Bumstead.
yes.
Yeah.
And you know, this guy's in his late 20s and he's been built his whole life. If you're starting from the opposite side of the spectrum and you're trying to get from where you don't want to be to where you want to be, going from up to down, one thing that I learned is the quicker you try and make it happen, the slower it's going to happen. That is a huge lesson I would tell my
I
18-year-old
tell it
self.
to Alyssa all the time.
I mean, dude, the
Low and slow,
like,
baby.
dude, when I
Kinda
was
like a
taking
crock
those
pot.
fucking,
And I
You
think
know-
it discourages people too.
oh,
Like,
it does. Like, dude, nobody
yeah.
wants to hear that. You know, nobody wants to hear. Hey, this ain't gonna happen. In 6
nobody
weeks.
wants to hear. Oh, it might take you a year to look how you want to look. They're like, well,
Right.
fuck that. I ain't got that kind of time.
Right,
But
but
I mean,
but you know
what you do.
you know what you realize? Even in a year, either you're gonna look like you do,
Right.
or you're gonna look like you want to.
Well, whether you
Whether or not
realize
that fucking year is gonna
well,
pass.
well, no, that's what I was gonna say. Whether you realize it or not, the year's still gonna happen.
Yeah, and so,
So
like,
you might as well.
you
give
might
it
as
a
well
shot.
fucking do it. And that's a look. None of us here can say that we're 100% every single day. I'm not in the gym every single day. You know, I'm not in there for 3-4 hours. I'm not eating clean all the fucking
No.
time. But I know
But you have.
I have I have, and I've done it, and I know the core of why I did that, and that's what brings me back to it. If you're just starting out and you're just starting out fat loss, I would personally say do your research. Do not listen to online fitness coaches all the time. Some of them are awesome. Some of them are horrible.
Right.
Some will
You want to
tell
make sure they
lies.
have science credits.
Science credits,
If they're
science
science
backgrounds.
based or they have degrees, I would go there first.
You know, because in the beginning, I really looked up a lot of coaches, and the one guy I found, Lucas Duncan, you know, he was bigger, and then he lost a bunch of weight, and then he got into bodybuilding, and all of his stuff was super simple. You know, it
Right.
wasn't like, he was like, look, these are the meals you should eat. These are the macros for them. This is the workout you should do. Do cardio either in the morning or right after your workout, and that's it.
Right.
And the huge tip,
Simple.
if I could go back to my 18-year-old self, keep it simple. Simple works. Complexity through your workouts, changing your workout routine every single week, changing what you eat every single week. Your body is going to keep being like, what the fuck is going on? You know, like if you're squatting 5 days a week at 315 or 225 and you're squatting every single day, and then next week you just bench 5 days a week, like your body's not going to know what the fuck's going on.
Correct.
your body adapts to routines.
Your body changes weekly.
Your body changes weekly, and
sometimes daily.
Honestly, though, I mean, like, there's been days where, you know, I eat exactly what I was eating yesterday, and I feel like shit that day. The one thing that I would definitely tell myself, there's this thing that David Goggins taught me about in the first few chapters of his book. It's called the accountability mirror. You don't have to do it, but for me, it worked. You take sticky notes, $2.29 at CVS plus tax. Go get sticky notes. Get a pen or a Sharpie.
That's how you know he got them.
Oh yeah,
you know
every
the
time,
price
every single time. You go to CVS. You get sticky notes. You write down a goal for the week or the month. You know, like I used to write down goal 195, eat clean, lift every day, 10, 20 minutes of cardio every day. Like just simple goals. But every single time you look at the mirror, when you look at yourself, when you know you're either going to feel good or bad, you're going to have to fucking read that at some point.
Right.
And for the people who are disciplined enough to, you know, like you could put on your mirror and just not look at it. That's where the true drive comes from. Because, like, I remember for my birthday, I wrote down this list of lessons that I've kind of learned throughout my life. And one of the biggest ones was motivation's bullshit. You know, you can't do anything without discipline. Like the stuff we talked about, you know, it's just motivation will keep you up for a week. Discipline will keep you up for a lifetime. And I think that when I was younger, I was heavily relying on motivation. You know, if I saw a YouTube video that made my adrenaline spike and I was like, fuck, dude, like I should get up at 3 a.m. tomorrow and go run 5 miles.
Right.
I do that for 2 days and then I won't do it again for 5 months because it sucks.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
If you find something that works for you, my coach used to tell me just keep chopping wood. And that for some reason when I'm lifting, you know, when you're on your 4th set, you got a 5th set and you're like, fuck, dude, like it won't really matter if I'm doing this. It does matter. It always matters. The last set, the last reps, the last meal that you don't eat. You know, if your friends bring home ice cream and you say no and you feel lame, that is the stepping stones. Those are the baby steps. And like, it fucking sucks a lot to tell people no when you really want to. But why do you think people become what they want to become? It's because of the power of saying no. The word no is so much more powerful than the word yes, because you can say yes to drugs, you can say yes to smoking, you can say yes to drinking, you can say yes to not going to the gym, to going out. Yes is fucking easy. No is extremely difficult.
Correct.
And I think the last thing that I would probably ever tell myself would be when you're starting weight loss, and if you have any experience like I did where you look in the mirror and you analyze every piece and inch of yourself and you're trying to figure out what the fuck you did to get there and you're trying to figure out what to get you to that point, don't think that the end of the world is there if you don't start perfectly. You know, like 260 good, and then I have like a snack at night and I, you know, maybe don't run that day. The world's not fucking over, but you still have to stay disciplined enough on yourself to know that if you don't do this, then you need to do that. And it's kind of, it's just a big balance thing like we talked about earlier. Like if you're eating more throughout the night, then figure out a way to, you know, kind of eat less during the day. If you're eating more throughout the day and that's the way your schedule goes, figure out a way to eat more or less. And like, I feel like the biggest thing is that everybody wants a fucking answer, but no one ever has the answers. Everybody's just trying to do whatever the fuck they can do to get where they want to go.
No, I know who has the answer. We do. Like, that person has the answer.
Exactly, yeah.
And you know the fucking answer.
You're trying to... Like,
nobody else has it for you.
I think we all know what we're supposed to do and exactly how we're supposed to do it, when we're supposed to do it.
According to how we feel.
According to how you feel at that moment. But the reason we don't do those things is because it looks hard or it feels hard.
Or
the thought of it is like, oh, this is going to be hard.
Yeah, this is exhausting.
If you're watching or you're listening, or these guys definitely know about this, there's always been a feeling where you know the gym is going to be a difficult decision, and you know going in there being motivated, you're not going to fucking hit a PR that day. You're not going to walk in and lift all the fucking weight you want. You're probably not going to sweat the way you want. but they just know that the decision of just showing up is 95% of it. Like, if you fucking show up I don't care if you're going for like 20 minutes and you're just doing, like some squats or you're doing some abs or at the trail. If you get the fuck up with your keys in your car or your bike, or you walk and you take your pre-workout or coffee. I don't know how y'all survive without pre-workout if you don't take any. Right. But if you do that, just showing the fuck up, that proves to your subconscious that, you're at least willing to go. Right. That builds on top of compound of you saying, okay, now I'm here. I might as well make the best of it.
That's one of the things I say. I'm here now. Like, I made it. I fucking made it.
Yeah. Like,
and once you're there, it's just like you can go from here, like all the way up into that first fucking.
Correct.
And then once you do it, it's just like, all right,
huge.
And then when you leave, you're like, I ain't even want to fucking
That's
do
what I'm
that
saying.
shit.
I don't even want to do this, and now I'm here having one of the best workouts I've ever
done
had.
it.
Like,
usually when you don't want to be there,
it's the best days. And don't get me wrong, as a human, nobody wants to look at shit that's extremely difficult, but the fucking fact that you can get up, say on average you drive 10 minutes to your gym, you show up there, you turn your car off, you grab your hoodie, you grab your headphones, you grab whatever, you walk into the gym. At that point, you've already done 80% of the work, which is telling your fucking self to get the fuck up.
To get there.
And go.
Right.
Now you're there. Now, are you really going to get to the gym and show up for 3 minutes and then leave? Probably not.
Fuck no.
And even if you fucking did, you still somehow went to the gym.
You still did more
but
than
you also
most
got
people.
in your conscience like, man, this motherfucker at the desk just seen me come in here.
Yeah,
I gotta stay here for like an hour.
I gotta
or two.
at least put some work in here.
You be like, you leaving
These
already?
motherfuckers. Oh, I forgot my headphones. Never fucking show up again. Fuck.
Yeah, it's like,
you get that motivation.
You did more than 89% of the population.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it's just ridiculous to think that where I was when I was 18, like I said, I was like, now I'm happy to talk about it, how fat and depressed and unhappy I was and how uncomfortable I was with myself around people. Right. Like, just to think about where I was and just to know that the simple choice, like pretty much just one choice daily, because you can break it down into smaller stuff, but it's really just one choice. Either you say like, all right, I'm going to eat, what I should eat today and go to the gym, get a good workout in. Or you could say, if I don't do this today, I'll just go really hard tomorrow and I'll eat a fucking lettuce salad tomorrow.
Right.
And I think that choice is an absolute bitch, but it can also save your whole life, because choice pretty much saved my whole life. And I think that when I was 262 at 18 years old and I was 5'10", I was fat, and I, like, a lot of people liked me because I was like a life of the party a lot. Like, I was enjoying drinking. I loved to dance, and I always end up in the fucking middle of a dance circle.
Were you looking for extra attention?
Yeah, dude.
Because of,
well, dude, you constantly look for like, what's the word?
Validation.
Approval. You like validation, because you're like, I don't feel comfortable in my own skin. So if other people are validating me, that gives you like another % of where like
you just feel better about yourself.
You should feel better about yourself, but then you're relying on other people to make yourself feel good. That's the worst fucking situation you could possibly be in, like, ever, is simply thinking that whatever they think, then I'll feel good about it. If they think this way, then I'll feel horrible.
And that's amazing, man. Just you at that age thinking that way, because it took me a while to get there.
It's a lot.
And just like the the guy you started working with, and he came with his daughter, and she's 18 too.
Yeah.
But to see where she's at in her mind state is just amazing to me. Because it took me a while to get there.
Well, dude, developing a young mind is a bitch, especially in college. I mean, you got fucking, like, you name a fucking distraction in college, it's there tenfold. You think people when you're like late 20s is difficult by saying like, hey, you want to go out? You got motherfuckers saying, hey, let's go out, fuck your chemistry test.
Right.
Fuck your biology midterm that's going to determine whether you go to grad school or not.
Right.
Let's go out. And then even if you say no, there's 10 motherfuckers behind them who will say, hey, let's go out. And like, granted, I never felt peer pressured. I always felt like I was making decisions on my own. But even if I did, I knew they were influenced.
Man, I used to always tell my little brother, there's no such thing as bad influence.
Right.
It's whether you want to do it or not. It's just fucking
The word
you.
bad influence, I feel like, is just an escape for you just making bad decisions.
Yes.
Right.
Because like I could forever say, oh well, my family and my friends influenced me to eat fucking like shit every day.
But it's your choice.
Motherfucker, when I went to McDonald's with my grandmother and then got a McDouble and a McFlurry and fries, and then I went home and ate dinner, that's fucking my choice. I didn't ever blame. And that was another thing, another tip for you if you're starting fat loss. Do not fucking blame anyone but yourself. If you blame anyone else, you're literally just wasting fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
If you go, oh well, my parents fucking used to offer me 6 bowls of ice cream. Well, motherfucker, at some point tell them that no.
Right.
And you know what that also is? That's justification.
Yeah.
I've heard from somebody, as long as we could justify our actions, we're okay with it.
Right.
Like,
dude,
as long as we could justify
probably one of the
our
best things I've ever heard. Because that's, dude, it freaks me out so much to just know how people are like, you know the quote, like, I'll do it if you do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing.
Yes,
but
and
more
it's what
general.
you think in your brain,
It's
too. You're
just
like,
more general.
I'm not the only one.
I'm not the only one.
And so it makes you feel comfortable, but you know it's not right.
Being comfortable is the worst fucking thing you could ever do to yourself.
Yes.
If you are not uncomfortable 75% of
You're
your
probably
days,
not doing the right thing.
you're not doing the right thing. I can guarantee it, because I remember, I'll tell you all a story. When I was still fat, that early January, late December, I would go back to my house in Harahan. You know, you're on Christmas break.
right.
You're eating like shit with your family, and you're going all these parties and family parties, and they got fucking rice and all this bullshit. So
Everything you're used
I'm
to.
eating my motherfucking ass off, eating king
You only get it
cake.
once a year.
Yeah, you get it
so
once a
you're like-
year. So I'm in there fucking shoving my face down, praying to God nobody sees me eating my 6th plate. And I used to go home, and I used to watch like 4 or 5 hours of YouTube of mindless shit. I mean, like literally sports compilations, funny videos, movie clips. And I'll never forget when I was about 20 and a half years old. There was this one day I put on a Netflix movie by myself, and I had a test to study for, and I had a photography project I was working on.
Right.
And it was about 1:30 in the morning. And I put it on, and I looked at the timestamp, and it said 2 hours and 14 minutes. And I paused it, and I was like, for the next 2 hours of my life, am I going to sit here and watch a movie that I've already watched and I know pretty much every word to? And that was a huge thing, because I was kind of like, it was kind of like shocking to myself. I'm like, bro, you've been doing this for like 4 or 5 years now. You know, you go on fucking YouTube.
And you think about all the fucking time
every
you wasted.
single time you went on YouTube for 2 hours and basically went until you can't even. I know that there's people watching this that have done the same thing, because so many people do it. You go on fucking YouTube or TikTok now or Twitter until you fucking can't even hold your phone up in front of your face.
I was video game.
Yeah, dude. Like even video games, you play
I
until you can't open your fucking eyes.
I stopped completely, yo.
I haven't
It
touched
was
one
just,
since.
bro.
Yeah, wait, me neither. Until my freshman year of college, when I started losing weight, I sold my Xbox and I haven't played a video game since.
Dude.
Yeah.
I got friends who be like, still with that, you know, it's
Yep.
still that, oh man, I can't believe you. And it's like, dude, my mind's not there no more.
I'm just kind of on another,
Like-
it's not like a disrespect thing. It's like, dude, like, I'm just doing what I think I need to do. Like if you can play video games all day and get everything you need to be done and feel happy with yourself, by all means, go fucking do it.
Right.
That's especially not
That's
me.
rare.
Clearly, that's not
rare.
y'all, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's somebody that's got it all figured out.
Dude, I mean, I used to do shit like my wife would be at work and I'd be home with the kids all day. And I forget to change my kids' diapers and
Yeah,
shit like that.
just little shit where
and
you know you
they have
slipping.
rash and you just be like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I just stopped it completely.
Cold turkey.
Just
Yeah, bro. Hey, also, if you're trying to fat loss, going cold turkey, extremely the military fucking strict way that I did, probably not the best way if you're somewhat of a normal person. Like, I straight up went from eating like shit every single day to eating like I was prepping like for Eric's competition.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably not the best way to do it. I just
it's
had
not healthy.
I had a thought of death in my mind. My dad told me one time,
the epiphany.
in that Christmas break where I went home, I used to go up to my room and I would go back down and make like a sandwich at like 11, go back up, watch YouTube for an hour, go back down, make like a bowl of cereal, all out of fucking boredom. Like, I was not hungry.
No.
I just wanted something to fucking do. And eating was like comfort. It was like, oh, well, something, this tastes good.
And that's another thing that plays a part in the video games.
Yeah, dude, it's just like comfort, you know, like you just eat your mind. It's mindless. Like if you're sitting in front of a screen watching a fucking Netflix movie and you're eating a bowl of cereal, you don't fucking know whether you're eating cereal or not. You're just doing something. Mm-hmm. And like, that was a huge fucking thing for me. It was starting, I went downstairs and my dad looked at me and he goes, son, you're going to be 350 pounds if you don't stop doing this. And I was like, no, I'm not. Then I went back upstairs and I was like, fuck, you know, like I probably will be. And like,
that's amazing.
I'm really glad that now I can fucking talk about it and be completely open about it. Like, dude, I used to be a little baby bitch about it. Now, like, all my friends know now, like, I'll talk about anything and like every embarrassing experience. Like, you probably know, like when you were fat, like you didn't want to share anything embarrassing because you already thought your whole body and life was embarrassing.
Well, yeah, because you're fucking fat. So at the moment, you don't want to showcase that, you know. But once it's like all off, you're like, yeah, look what I used to look like. But you know, I mean, I've gotten fat and skinny so many times and ripped up so many. So I mean, like, I've just, you know, there's a difference. It's consistency and it's a lifestyle.
And you know what else? Like, it's motivating. Like, when you start working at this shit, is when other people see you and it's just like they want to do it now.
Yeah.
It's just like,
oh yeah.
It's a hell of a
and it goes back to the question you was asking us, like, what made you want to help people? Like,
it's just a hell of a feeling
because you think to yourself, like, damn, I must have did so much with my body or making them look something, and they. Getting triggered off of that, you know what I'm saying?
Like, so y'all know how
Eric doing that? Fuck, I could do that shit.
Like, you know,
Alyssa doing that.
You know how hard you beat yourself up? Like you beat yourself up every day in the gym. You go in and you're looking at me like, fuck, dude. Like, I need to be a little bit leaner. Like, I need my arms. And then someone comes up to you like, dude,
you look
what the fuck
jacked.
are you doing?
Yeah,
and
dude, I was going home every
You're like,
day.
dude, hating myself. What are you doing? And they're just like,
like, bitch, I almost shot myself last night.
Yeah. Like, dude, you're like, bro, I fucking hate the way I look. And they're like, dude, how do you look like that?
Hey, usually like your 50% is like somebody's 100%. Like they're fucking looking at you like you're a Greek statue.
I remember going to the gas station and the motherfucker be like, man, leave the fucking gym alone. I'm like, what?
Stop eating them dumbbells and a sandwich.
Yeah, bro. I'm talking to my wife like, nigga just told me to leave the gym alone.
Like, I was too swole. God damn.
Yeah, bro.
I feel deflated.
You got me and your chest.
Yeah, like, bro, I went to Mardi Gras last weekend. I had some motherfucker I ain't seen in like probably about a year. He comes up, daps me up, slaps me on the chest. He goes, God damn, son, what you been doing? I'm like, bro, I feel fat as a motherfucker right now. But, you know, like in other people's eyes, and this goes back to another thing, like when you're so focused on what you're doing.
Right.
Everyone else, like you said, that 50%. That you're getting, that you might be given if you have a shit week at the gym.
Well, yeah, like, you know what I mean, because like when
what the fuck,
you've gotten to like your best, but like it might have been 80,
right?
You know what I'm saying? And so like you know you might be like, understand. Yeah, so maybe 50 might have been bad, maybe like 65,
yeah,
like 69.
But yeah, dude, I appreciate you. Like, dude, thank you for coming on. I know we've both been trying to make this happen, and I forgot, like, you had told me, you were like, dude, yeah, I want to talk about like my weight loss journey, and I was like, shit, dude, like that's something we never had on the show yet. So I'm glad you were like one of the first to come on and like represent for the new school and the old school, right? Because I mean, like, you are like the new generation of like bodybuilding and fitness. Like, at 22, I didn't have it figured out. I didn't do it by myself. When I did do it by myself, I didn't even look like how you look now, you know. Right. So.
And it's amazing to me, man. And just the mindset of a 22-year-old at that age, just doing that shit. Yeah, it's amazing, bro.
Yeah. Thank you.
Like,
thank you. And still, like, even though y'all are saying that, you know, like, still now, I'll think I'm behind.
Oh yeah, you probably want to go to the gym right now. You're like, I
just told him I wanted to go to the gym after this.
And it's a fucking motivation. Like, looking at you, it's like, bitch, I won't stay 22.
Well, hopefully, like, you know, like you said, like, I mean, again, this podcast was like created to like help others, and like hopefully people get something out of it. I fucking know I did, Ray. I know you did. I Alyssa, did. Tyler. I mean. Everybody in this room is like struggle with something, so I feel like you have definitely delivered.
Right, and I feel like fitness is the start, not just it's a lifestyle, but it helps you with everything else. Well, like if you can stay motivated to fitness, you can.
If I'm gonna say one last thing is that even at fucking 21 years old, I've been through a lot of shit in my life, and you know, like I've never necessarily asked anyone for like I guess you could say like help, really.
Mm-hmm. And that showed the
the
strength.
one thing that I've always learned is that if you are confident in, I guess I want to say your own skin, but like your your body, your health, the way that you're living, every single other fucking thing falls in line. It doesn't even make sense, but like when you're so confident in yourself, like your financials somehow fall in line, your relationships fall in line,
school goes
well, you know, like you're kind of doing new things that you wouldn't think you would do, and like for people, like if you're just starting out like a fat loss journey, just know you're not just going to lose fat.
It's all confidence.
It is a complete life quality change in your entire life that you will not know, and like I can't even explain it to you. It just kind of happens, and it's little moments, and like you kind of got to be alive in the moment to kind of pick it up. But there's little bitty things where, you know, like when I felt my best, things were going their best.
Yes.
And it's weird because like when when you feel shit about yourself and you push people away out of your own like insecurities, that's when shit starts going south.
Yes.
Well, you're giving yourself, like, you're giving 100% to everything because you're like, fuck, I feel good. I'm gonna make sure I do well at my job. I'm gonna make sure I take care of my girlfriend. I'm gonna make sure I
exactly.
And it goes back to all those other things too. Like, I'm not sucking in. I'm not doing this. I'm comfortable.
It's just
like I can put this fucking shirt on and not, you know what I'm saying? And it's a whole aura.
Like, dude, when I took my shirt off for the summer, man, I was like, man, I'm a tan little shredded up motherfucker.
Oh, fuck myself.
Like I was looking in the mirror, I'm like, God damn. For like the first time in my life. So now I'm walking around the pool with all these motherfuckers who've been jacked their whole life, and I'm like, bro, y'all don't even know what the fuck I've been through. So I'm about to stick my chest out and be happier than a motherfucker.
Right.
Yep.
So
Man, y'all go drink tonight. I'm gonna go do 100 push-ups.
And it shows while drinking that beer. Because I know, like, because you know you've learned the balance of your body.
Yeah.
How can people reach you? Like, if they want to follow you, like, ask you questions on, like, what?
So I'm definitely responsive on my Instagram. It's Mikey Ricks _ I don't know if we can tag it on here.
We will.
It's Mikey for those of you don't. Mickey over here.
Chris will edit that perfectly.
Yeah. So my Instagram is, I always answer like DMs and stuff. You know, if you got, whether it be fitness questions, literally life questions, or even advice to me. Like, I'm still fucking 21, so if you got something to throw on me, I'd be more than happy.
And you mess with the video and the
so also I do videography and photography for like events and life events and celebrations and weddings and all that type of stuff. So go check out my page. You know, if you like, a lot of the creative stuff that I like to do is for myself, and that was another thing that came.
It's a dope page.
Thank you. And it was a lot of like confidence that came with myself. Like once I felt more confident, I felt more confident in posting what I like to post rather than like posting what you think what people would like. I started posting shit because I was like, fuck y'all. Like, dude, I'm going to look back on my Instagram.
And that's why I told you hit send. Hit send, man.
Always hit send.
Just hit send and say,
like
fuck it.
Man.
Let it go out there.
I like that.
Because if you think about it, you ain't going to post it.
Big time.
Fuck everybody.
Hey,
and
Ray always tells me that shit. Just hit send.
Just hit send.
That's probably one of my favorite quotes now. I love that.
Bro. He's got some good ones.
I want to say huge thank you to Eric and Rayshawn for having me on here. They have an incredible thing going on. Eric has a huge thing coming up. Y'all should definitely stay tuned. I know I'm going to send this to as many people as I can. This guy's awesome. So is this guy. His whole team that he has in here that y'all can't see are also awesome.
It's a lot of back
room's
work.
Badass. There's a lot of back work going on. I know personally because I fuck with cameras all the time, so I know how much shit goes into this.
He was helping us.
And just y'all stay tuned for Eric, dude. I hope this thing blows up. I know I'm gonna do everything that I can to make sure it blows up.
Hopefully, bro. Hopefully. I mean, hopefully, like, your story can help other people, man. Because it's funny talking to you because I was like, oh fuck, he was me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I still feel like I'm that guy sometimes because I mean I am. I mean we're all on this like same journey together.
Just chasing.
Whether
constantly.
you fucking can't gain weight or you fucking can't lose weight, everybody has a struggle, bro. So thank you for coming on here, just completely sharing it. I know it's gonna help somebody else because
I hope so.
And it helped us, man.
Appreciate you, bro.
It helps us.
All right, boss. Thank you.
Appreciate you, big dog.
Thank you, brother.
I appreciate you.
You got it, man.
All right, guys. Appreciate y'all listening in. I hope y'all enjoyed the show. I hope you got something out of it. I know I did. And see y'all next time. Thank you.